Okay, let us see if everything goes as according to plan. Let's see if
I can hear
everything
myself.
goes as according to plan. Let's see. Okay, works. Awesome. Great. Okay. Did I? Yes, I did. Let me make the fun tweet. Yeah, it really has almost been 2 fucking months since I fucking read chapter 2. I probably would have been done with it by now, and I probably would have already been on chapter 3, or maybe even past chapter 3 if I had continued reading. Nevertheless, we're back to it. I get to read again. Whether that's a good or bad thing, honestly, that's up to you to decide. I get a Discord as soon as... I always get Discord when I'm not doing nothing. Well, actually, when I'm doing something, but... I'll check out what this at is real quick. Hey, yo. Okay. Let's continue. Oh boy. Let's see how far this will go. Shion had been waiting for me already, so meeting up was a smooth process.
ミオンと違って、シオンは待ち合わせ時間を守るな。
Is the volume louder, or is it just me? I think it's just been so long. Let me just turn some things down a bit. Just to make sure it's not too great. Or is there a master volume? There's not master volume. Fuck. I guess that's close enough.
Shimijimi.
おねを標準にされるといろいろと困ります。
Shion seemed a little unsteady too. She was drinking with Mion last night, wasn't she?
お前も昨べは寝てないんだろ？隠しても無駄だぞ。で、学校を早退したに違いない。
残念でした。私はそもそも今日はずる休みしてますので。私、お姉より要領いいですから。
Hey, I don't think you could call playing hooky smarter. Well, depends on your view on it.
じゃあ、先に用事を片付けます？時間もそんなにないですから。図書館へ行くんですよね。
ああ、頼むよ。お袋の借りてる本の返却期限が今日までらしいんで。図書館は遠いのか？
すぐ近くですよ。
Okay. I'm starting to feel that some of the crazy shit's about to happen. Because last time I read, Mion gave me the soulless dead eyes, and knowing the standards of Higurashi, we know fucking damn well what that means. And honestly, if it wasn't fucking obvious, I am super fucking worried. I mean, then again, who would not be? Who would not be fucking worried? Guess it is what it is. If it was easy to find, then I guess I didn't need Shion to show me where it was after all. We rode around a bend, and the building was just right there. Shishibone Public Library. We live in the country, so I hadn't expected too much, but it was pretty big. The first floor was actually a government office, so the library was only on the second floor, but it still looked large enough to fit a decent collection of books. We passed through the automatic doors and were greeted by a cool breeze of an air curtain. The cicadas had been loud outside, but it was quiet inside the library. The air conditioning inside was keeping the temperature at the ideal level for books, which had a midway smell unique to old paper. Ooh. I may not be old, I'm still decently young, but even I know about the smell of old paper.
どこの図書館も似たようなもんだな。
If there was one difference, it was that the people studying for tests weren't taking up all the seats. I was one of those people, but now that seemed like a distant memory.
すみません、返却に来ました。
The librarian went through the process of checking them in, and then had returned my mom's library card. Shion was going around the bookshelves, and a deeply interested look on her face, like she wasn't the type who went to libraries very often.
悪いな、お待たせ。終わったよ。
図書館って涼しくていいところですね。私、将来は図書館で働きたいです。
Oh, well, I think you'll do very great in a library. I think you'll do just fine in one.
地味というか堅実というか、姉と比べると随分とささやかな希望だな。
Hey, you'll never know. Mion would definitely want to be a hard-working employee for an international trading company or some other crazy job involving her running all around the world. Compared to that, what Shion said was actually kind of heartwarming.
まあ、互いの持ち味を大切にしたいですよね。私たち分身じゃなくてシオンとミオンというちゃんとした個人なんですから。
That's true.
双子は双子なりにいろいろと考えてるんだな。でも楽しそうだよな。俺には兄弟はいないから、うちには俺以外は親しかいない。窮屈なもんだよ。
私だってそうです。お姉とは一緒に住んでるわけじゃないですから。
Oh, right. She said something like that before, didn't she? But why though? Sisters living apart is quite unusual. We were getting tired of walking or talking while we were walking. We ended up going to the lounge area, which was vacant and continuing the conversation.
え
Did I not change the voice settings? It still feels loud to me for some reason. Just turn that down just a teeny bit.
お姉は本家に、私は沖宮の家に住んでるんです。
本家ってなんだ？随分と立派な響きがあるけどな。
本家は本家です。園崎家の本家。お姉は跡取りだから、バッチャと一緒に住んで、いろいろと当主としての修行をさせられてるみたいです。
Mion, the head of the family? I mean, it kind of fit her personality, but also kind of didn't as well.
ケイちゃんは引っ越してきたばかりでしたよね。自分で言うのもなんですけど、園崎家ってここいらじゃ結構名士なんですよ。
本当かよ。
God, okay, sorry. I'm having a bit of a moment because I genuinely missed hearing the characters' voices so fucking much. I missed it. Oh, it feels good to be back. The word personage didn't really match the extremely sociable air that Mion and Shion gave off. So, from what Shion had explained, the Sonozaki family goes way back to the beginnings of Hinamizawa. After the war, they had a bunch of successful ventures and extended their influence to a wide area.
園崎家はですね、親族全体で助け合う土壌があるんです。今の当主のバッチャが築き上げたんですけどね。
the entire family would provide backup to help one relative with a business venture. They were like a huge living company. This let them avoid tax-related problems and help relatives' ventures succeeded, one after another, using large amounts of money.
沖宮の街を歩くことがあったら看板とかを意識してみてください。園崎の親族が経営しているお店ってとても多いんですよ。
言われてみれば例のおもちゃ屋も親類の人が経営してるみたいだったな。そういえばエンジェルモートも親類の人が経営してるんじゃないのか？
Even what few shops I was familiar with were involved with the Sonozaki family. It was definitely surprising.
特に金融不動産関係は強いですね。あと商工会議所の役員も何割かは園崎姓かその親類がついてます。沖宮一帯を評伝に市議会議員と県議会議員にも園崎がいますし。
ちょっと待て、なんだかすごい話になってきたぞ。
Her relatives operate shops in downtown Okinomiya. I fucking forgot how to say it. And were especially strong in finance and real estate. On top of that, a lot of these in the Chamber of Commerce and Industry are relatives, and there are even people elected to local offices.
ひょっとして園崎家ってこの辺り一帯じゃすごいんじゃ。
Oishi, my boy! Where the fuck did you come from?
すごいんです。
All of a sudden, a cigarette-smoking overweight old man interrupted our conversation. Wait, I know this guy.
どうも、こんにちは。今日はデートですかな？
Oh, very funny.
羨ましいですね。
I am not on a date with anybody. Motherfucker. You're gonna be helping me get out of a bad situation. I'm calling it.
そうだと思ったら邪魔しないでほしかったですね。大石さん。
That was it. He was Oishi-san, the police officer. Huh. I thought it was the person who came by to my rescue when I was involved with those delinquents before. Huh, now that I thought about it, Mion didn't seem to like him very much. I wonder why. And I don't know if I want to know why. I'm terrified at the thought of why.
いえいえ、すみません。知ってる声が聞こえてきたのでついつい。
Oishi-san laughed, not showing any sign of giving up. As Shion watched him do so, I didn't feel any sense of malice from her that I had from Mion.
前原さんでしたよね。あなたもタフな人ですね。園崎姉妹を二股かけるなんて。
What the fuck, bro? Bold of you to assume I was dating anyone in the first place, let alone going on a date. What the fuck's wrong with you? What's wrong with you?
いや、そんな二股だなんて。
I turned around to look at Shion to plead for help, but she grinned and maintained her silence. You bitch. You bitch. Her gaze wandered. She looked at the clock.
ごめんなさい、ケイちゃん。私もうバイトの時間なんです。
そうなのか？
Wait, didn't Shion have something to talk about today? Now this weird man is here, though.
また今度。
Hold up! No. Don't you fucking run away from me. You fucking get your ass back here. And you know what? I don't even know what I'm trying to call out. What am I trying to call out for exactly?
バイトが終わったら電話します。夜なら電話大丈夫ですよね。
ああ、大丈夫だと思う。
じゃあ今夜電話しますのでその時に。じゃ。
Shion left so fast that she was practically running. Oishi-san was waving at me with a grin. I felt like I've been left as bait so she could get away. Maybe she was lying about having to go to work.
園崎のご令嬢とこれだけ親しくできるなんて、私も口の利き方を改めた方がいいかもしれません。
Fuck off, Oishi! Oishi put a coin into the vending machine as he said that, as he said something a bit appalling.
アイスティーでいいですか？ミルクは入れます？
いえ。
じゃあ入れますよ。
Okay.
はいどうぞ。
He handed me a cup of tea filled to the brim with ice as I looked on an absent-mindedly. I don't think I'm obligated to have a guy like this buy me a drink, but, well, he did get it for me, so I'll thank him. Was Oishi-san just killing time? We didn't know each other very well, but he still engaged me with a conversation about all sorts of dumb things. When I thought back to how I talked with Shion, this seemed like a total disaster.
前原さんは園崎さんのことをどれくらいご存知で？
Which one?
さっき聞いた以上のことは何も。
Until then, I hadn't known anything about either Mion or Shion, other than the fact that they were just very interesting. I really did only just learn that she was the daughter of some fucking hell.
園崎家はこの地域一帯を牛耳ってる。ちなみに彼女のお父さんは関東でも有名な暴力団グループの大幹部さんです。
Okay.
ご存知でした？
大幹部って。
シオンさんの自宅をご存知ないんですか？高い塀に有刺鉄線と監視カメラで守られた典型的な暴力団の組長宅ですよ。
Okay, that's, questionable, but I don't think it's the worst thing.
今度ぜひ遊びに行ってみてください。
Why do I feel that's bait? That feels like bait. She mentioned Mion being a successor, but to a crime syndicate?
いえいえいえいえ、まさかまさか。園崎美音さんが継ぐのはそんなちんけな暴力団組織だけじゃありません。彼女が継ぐのは園崎家そのものですよ。
Which means what?
そのあたりの意味、ちょっと噛み締めていただけますか？
Why? First Reina, and now you aren't telling me shit. What the fuck? At least for Reina, it kind of made sense. You're just doing this to be a dick. I'm calling it. Oishi-san had spoken lightly about all of this from the start to finish, but what was he saying wasn't light in the least. It was rather abrupt and unbelievable.
ミオンさんがその気になれば、往来の真ん中で人殺しをしたってもみ消せちゃうかもしれない。
I don't like how you said that. I don't like how, fuck you. No. I don't like how you said that.
証人は現れないだろうし、警察にだって圧力をかけられますし。
ミオンは人殺しなんかしないぞ。
しませんものの例えですよ。
Well, I don't know about that.
大石さんでしたっけ？名前。
ねえ、そうです。
大石さん、ミオンの家が何だろうと、ミオンは俺の誇れる最高の友人です。それをあまりけなすような言い方は好きになれないですね。
I let my quiet anger show through my gaze as I stared at him. Of course, I could never seem to tell what he's thinking, and I didn't know if it would have any effect.
ではざっくばらんに、そのミオンさんにいくつかの事件の嫌疑がかかっているとしたらどう思います？
Suspected incidents? You can't just say terrible stuff like that on a whim.
何かの誤解に決まってるじゃないですか。ミオンは物騒なことを言うやつだけど、そんな悪いことをするようなやつじゃない。
前原さん、お静かにお静かに。ここ図書館ですから。
Oishi-san shushed me, but the state of the heightened excitement that I was, I wouldn't be calmed so easily.
落ち着いてください。さっきも申し上げました通り、園崎家はいい意味でも悪い意味でもこの辺り一帯で強い力を持っているんです。ですからちょっと何かあるとすぐに疑いがかかってしまう。その辺りをご理解いただきたいのですよ。
Well, I know what Oishi-san was trying to say. Combining that with what Shion had told me before, the Sonozaki family is huge and controls everything from Hinamizawa to Okonomiya. Mion, meanwhile, is its successor, who apparently holds a strong influence over the entire family. Still, that's all? That's the only reason they're suspecting her?
ですから私だって仕事で仕方なくやってるんです。ミオンさんを疑うためでなく、ミオンさんの疑いを晴らすために捜査をしている。そうお考えいただきたいのです。
He could talk a dog out of a meat truck. He was the definition of shrewd, unfair adult. At this point, I begin to think that it was no coincidence I had met him. I heard the jingle, and I already got chills down. Oh no.
大石さん、ひょっとして
Yeah, you need
俺に用
something
なんですか？
from me. This is very similar to how when we first met in chapter 1. I'm not falling for this shit.
ねえ、そうですよ。前原圭一さん。
He answered with an absent tone in his voice.
何かの事件でミオンを疑っていて、その友人の俺に何か聞きに来た。
You could have also gone to Reina, or Satoko, or Rika, or literally any of Mion's other friends. But no, because I'm the fucking protagonist.
そういうことですか？
いえいえ、違います。私は園崎ミオンさんの友人と話をしに来たのではなく、前原圭一さんに話をしに
Okay,
来たの
when
で
you
す。
word it like that, that makes it seem like you're a creep or a stalker.
ご自宅にお伺いしたらご迷惑でしたでしょうからね。
俺に警察が何の用だって言うんですか？
Having realized this faked coincidental meeting had me as its target, my mood immediately turned foul.
そんなに構えなくて大丈夫ですよ。肩を楽にしてちょっと質問に答えてくださるだけでいいんです。
それって職務質問ってやつですか？
偶然知り合ったおじさんとの世間話ってことにしましょう。
Is it just me, or is he a little more cocky sounding than how he was in chapter 1? He seems very cocky sounding. Oishi-san freely suggested that I relaxed. That said, behind his eyes was a light, which I could only see sometimes, that was sharp as a hawk. If I tried in vain to run away, he might actually take me in and bring me into the interrogation room or something. I need a drink. Goddamn, I'm dying. That was undoubtedly an unpleasant thought.
ゆうべは綿流しのお祭り盛大で楽しかったですね。
はぐらかさないでください。今さら世間話なんかされても。
昨日の綿流しの晩、富武二郎さんと高野美代さんにお会いしませんでしたか？
Still, we're gonna shout it loud, even if our words seem meaningless. It's like I'm carrying the weight of the world. Oh, fuck. I could painfully feel myself give a start.
あれ、写真はどこに行っちゃったかな？ああ、あったあった。
He opened a small notebook and removed 2 photographs. I didn't have to look.
さあ、どうでしょう。あったような、合わなかったような。
I was asked the same question for the second time today. I gave the same answer the second time too.
あれ？記憶が曖昧ですか？
Let me guess, Tomosuke and I forgot her other name. They're both dead.
まさかアルコールが入っててよく覚えてないなんてのはなしにしてくださいよ。
No, I'm underage. Here too, I got the same answer that I had from Mion. I realized he wasn't taking my vague reply well. Why is he asking me? The same thing Mion did. The dark feeling I had nearly forgotten due to my conversation with Shion came rushing back in a hurry. We snuck into the sacred ritual storehouse, a punishable act. It was only a tiny impulse. While it may not count for much now, I do feel sorry about it.
もう一度お聞きしますよ。ゆうべのお祭りで富武二郎さんと高野美代さんに お会いしませんで
Oh,
し
he's
た
not
か。
taken to this kindly. He is really not taken to this kindly. His tone was soft, but there was dreadfulness in his voice, clearly different from the first time he asked. I'm scared. That was exactly how I felt.
と繰り返し聞かれても答えはさっきと同じです。
I didn't really remember. There wasn't any better answer I could give him. I didn't have the balls to say I didn't see him, nor did I have the courage to admit I had.
そうですか。改めて聞けば、さっきとは違う答えが返ってくるかなと思いましてね。
That's... I'm too scared to look at... That is exactly what Mion said.
では、質問を変えます。ほら、前原さん、リラックス、リラックス。
Oishi-san grabbed my shoulders and squeezed them, as if trying to give me a massage. It mostly just hurt, though. Still, why would he ask the same things as Mion? If he's asking the same things, then the next question must be...
同じく夕べのお祭りなんですが、園崎しおんさんにお会いしませんでしたか？
You son of a bitch! Clatter, clatter, clatter. I wondered what that sound was, but when I looked down, I saw that it was the unmelted ice of the cup I was gripping into my hand. My hands were trembling, rocking the ice back and forth, realizing that I hastily put the remaining ice into my mouth and crunched on it.
すみません。あったかもしれないですけど、ほら、ミオンにもそっくりですから、ミオンと見間違えてるかも。
そんなわけはないでしょう。
Suddenly, Oishi-san grabbed both my shoulders and hunched down and gave me a level stare. This must be what it is like to be a deer in the headlights. I want to look away, but I can't. This is the first time I've experienced such a piercing stare.
ミオンさんもシオンさんも服装は全然違うんですから。
True, I can't even argue with that one.
そう簡単に見間違えるはずはありませんよ。
I can't argue with that.
前原さん。
Yeah? His voice was harsh, the same as when Mion said it. I could feel my heartbeat quickening. When I realized he could feel it through the hands on my shoulders, I got even more scared. Why? Why are Mion and Oishi-san both asking me about last night? Was sneaking into the store shed so bad? I shouldn't have let Takano-san talk me into it. Tomotake casually said to check it out too, so... Even Shion, if she hadn't encouraged me... No, I understood. I'm the one most at fault here. I shouldn't have let my curiosity get the better of me. I shouldn't have gone into such a forbidden storehouse.
おいさん、ホタルの光っす。
A young man wearing a suit came into the lounge. From the way he held himself, I knew immediately that he was Oishi-san's subordinate.
ん？ありゃ本当だ。もう閉館なんですね。
I didn't realize until he said something. The jingle and announcement telling patrons of the library had closed had started playing without me even realizing it. I was so irritated and so overwhelmed that I couldn't even hear it.
じゃあ前原君、もうこんな時間なんで私たちは失礼させてもらいます。このお話はもっと時間のある時にのんびりといたしましょう。
This isn't a joke. If I never saw him again, it would be too soon. Oishi-san followed his subordinate and left the lounge behind him. However, he spun back around.
そうそう前原さん。
なんですか？
さっきさせてもらった2つの質問ですが、どちらの回答もよく覚えてない。
はい。
参考までに。あなた、昨日全員にお会いしてますよ。4人で楽しそうに歩いてたじゃないですか。石段のところで。 私がこの目で見てますから。
I caught my breath, and my heart seemed like it was about to stop. What the fuck? he knew, and he was testing me.
ではまたお会いしましょう。良いお年を。
I sat there like a rock, unmoving, until I could no longer hear the clacking sounds of their footsteps. Whew. That's fun. That's fun. We're only 30 minutes in. We're only 30 minutes in, and I already feel like I did the worst thing in the world. What's next on the agenda? I was on my way back home. The cries of the Higurashi, whatever that word is, were already lonely. Anyways, yeah. More time had passed than I thought. The orange of the dusky sky was being chased down little by little by an indigo color approaching from the east. Exhausted from the slow climb towards Hinamizawa, without even noticing, I'd gotten off my bicycle and was pushing it uphill. I don't understand any of this. No one had told me to my face that I did something wrong. No, in fact, it might have just been easier on me that way. What happened yesterday really was just my curiosity. It was really no more than a quiet prank, no more than having the courage to cross a red light as long as you did it with other people. The storehouse was for ritual implements, hollowed ground, only accessible to the family of the priest. For sure, I had seen terrifying things that I never imagined would be there. Hi there, Ace. How are you doing? Hope you are doing well today. I am already a bit nervous, and I'm only 30 minutes into reading. That's how you know shit's happening. They gave to it now, though. It didn't matter what was stored away inside. It didn't make the wrong I had committed any more right. What the four of us did, Mion seemed to know about it. For some reason, even the police were trying to learn what the four of us did. Did we do something bad? Really? It didn't matter how wrong it was. I did something wrong. Got done with midterms, so you're gonna relax the finals? I see. I'm doing pretty decently well myself. I've just mainly been chilling before I decided to start streaming, and I was also working on some other stuff with Streamlabs and everything. But yeah, other than that, just a chill day, honestly. Nothing really too crazy and whatnot. It was nothing more than that, and yet I couldn't accept it. I didn't apologize to Mion nor Oishi-san. All I did was shield myself. I did something wrong yesterday. I set foot in a forbidden storehouse for a little bit of mischief. I'll forget everything I saw in there. I won't ever do anything like that again, either. I'm sorry. If I apologize like that, would they forgive me? The suddenly cool air left no room for such sentiment. However, as it mercifully chilled my feet, urging me to head home as soon as possible. In the end, the evening air was correct. If I trudged along with such an isolated road, regrets would pile on top of regrets, but nothing would ever change. Let's go home. I'll go home, go to my room, put on my favorite music or something, and then go to bed. Yo, Keiichi, preach. Felt ya. Felt ya there. That might sound plain and boring, but it's probably the strongest I've felt all day. Now that I've made that decision, there's no point in dwelling in a place like this. I sat back onto my bike and pushed as hard as I could on the pedals. I rapidly advanced forward. I steadily gained speed. The wind was cutting and mercilessly cold, but it actually felt good, as if it were softly punishing me. I didn't eat so much dinner before excusing myself early and returning to my bedroom. Mom called me from downstairs.
Keiichi! 電話よ! Sonozaki-san から!
Sonozaki? Was it Mion? No, it was Shion. I remembered. She had something she wanted to tell me today. Oishi-san had interrupted us, so she didn't get a chance. Shion said that she would call tonight.
もしもし、シオンか。
どうも、今日は災難でしたね。
She said that so plainly that I got a bit annoyed. She was the one who left me there and ran.
そんなこと言わないでください。私、ケイちゃんに一緒に逃げようってサインを送ったじゃないですか。
No, you fucking didn't.
なのにケイちゃん、ボサーっと残っちゃって。
What did you expect me to do?
ボサってことはないだろう。シオンがあっという間に置いてきぼりにしたんで、あの後俺は大石のおっさんにたっぷり付き合わされたんだぜ。
そんなの私に愚痴られても困ります。
I can't believe she passed it off like that. She looks just like Mion, yet on the inside she's this different. I got a little irritated at myself when I realized I was, somewhere in my mind, hoping for the same reaction I would get from Mion. Even though she's a different person entirely.
ああ、悪かったよ。次からはシオンを置いてくぐらいのつもりで真っ先に逃げ出すようにする。
できればレディーファーストでお願いします。
Shion laughed refreshingly. When I heard her voice, I realized that she wasn't really that angry or anything. It was just as she said. The cause of my temper was because of my own fault for not leaving immediately. I'll stop blaming it on others. Blaming it on others would be...
それより俺に何か話があるんだろ。
Okay, no, Keiichi, go back to what you were saying, Bish.
はい。もしもう知ってるなら改めて言うような話じゃないんです。知ってますか？
Shion lowered her voice suddenly, as if she were glancing around. I had no idea what I could already know.
悪いけど何のことかさっぱりわからないぞ。ヒントくらい出せ。
ってことは知らないみたいですね。
She seemed to take my stupid-sounding question as evidence. However, her voice didn't seem disappointed or whatever that word is in the slightest.
実は昨日の綿流しのお祭りの晩なんですけど。
Huh? My entire body jolted as I was assailed by a terrible feeling. Is Shion going to ask me the same thing?
もしもし、ケイちゃん聞いてます？
ああ。
Yeah, sorry. It's just, I'm gonna have PTSD or something.
聞いてる。昨日の晩どうしたんだよ。
私たち4人入ったじゃないですか。
She didn't even beat around the bush. Whether or not I wanted to admit it, that was the actual honest truth, and I couldn't act like it didn't happen.
それでその後みんなで歩いて石段のあたりで私たちみんな別れましたよね。高野さんたちは沢に行って、ケイちゃんはその場に残って、私は親類の人たちのところに行っちゃって。
ああ、それがどうした？
お互い質問の返し合いになっちゃうと拉致が開かないんで、私からまず質問します。いいですか？
ゆうべ富武さんと高野さんに会いませんでしたか？
え？はい。あの後あの二人には会いましたか？
I'd be lying if I said I wasn't surprised. This is the third time I've been asked this question today. Why though? Why? What the hell is going on?
どうしてだよ。だからどうしてそれを俺に聞くんだよ。
ほらほら、ケイちゃん、質問は私からのはずです。答えてください。
シオンはあったのか？シオンが先に答えたら俺も答える。
My shabby response betrayed how scared and small I felt now, after everything that had happened today. Shion didn't say anything for a few moments. Just as I was beginning to think that I had already put my foot in my mouth with a response, she finally answered
も
me.
ちろん、会ってません。一緒にいた親類が証明できます。
俺だって会ってない。証明って言うならミオンとかレナとかみんながしてくれる。
Now that we knew our answers matched, she let out a sigh that sounded more relieved than anything else. Okay, I am so confused about what is going on. At first I was like partially starting to think that she was just pretending that she didn't remember. What is going on?
正直に答えてくれて。じゃあ、言いますね。ゆうべ、 高野さんと富武さんが
I
死んだんだそうです。
fucking knew it. I knew it. I knew it. Oh my. Wait. Wasn't Takano-san the one who went missing? What do you mean they're both dead?
ごめん、シオン。今、なんて言った？
ゆうべ、高野さんと富武さんが死んだんだそうです。
Both of them are dead? Not one? I thought it was one died and the other demon's away.
高野さんは焼死体で、
Burned to death?
富武さんは自殺みたいな感じで、今朝知ったんです。お父さんが親類の人からの電話で話してるのを聞いて。
Late last night, a police car was on its way back from the festival's security duty that discovered Tomotake-san laying in the middle of the road heading towards Okonomiya. He had clawed out his own throat and died. Okay, well, it looks like his death is the same from Chapter 1.
なんだよ。喉をかきむしっての自殺って。
I know this is what happened in Chapter 1, but it still doesn't make it any less unsettling.
あの明るそうな富武さんが自殺？何かの間違いだろ？
警察がちゃんと検視したんです。自分の爪でガリガリと喉をかきむしって血管を破いて血をドバドバ出して自分の血で溺れ死んだんだって。
そんなバカな自殺聞いたことないぞ。自分の喉をかき破るなんておかしすぎる。
Unless there was a funny, silly little drug that can make you do that. I realized I was yelling too loudly. I lowered the force I was trying to put into my voice. I didn't want my parents to hear me, so I switched over to cordless phone and ran up to my room.
大声出してごめん。で、高野さんも自殺なのか？
高野さんは自殺かどうかちょっと。
What the fuck do you mean a little unclear? Takano-san's body was found in the mountains of the Gifu prefecture. Employees... I hide from the story! Welcome to Higurashi, am I right? Employees near the restaurant nearby reported to the police that late at night that they could see flames at the mountains. The firefighters dispatched there were the first ones that found her. An autopsy concluded that it was the burned corpse of a half-naked female. They initially considered the body beyond recognition, but directly after, there was a request for dental comparison at the prefectural police station in Okonomiya, and the results concluded that it was Mio Takano. The cause of death wasn't confirmed, but it was highly likely to be a homicide, since she was in her undergarments. Her clothes were nowhere to be found in the area.
灯油缶が転がってたそうなんで、焼身自殺の線もあるそうです。
自殺なわけあるものか。同じ死ぬならもっと楽な方法がいくらでもあるだろう。
And probably less painful ones. I mean, I'm not saying you should take that route. Never take that route, but still, burning yourself to death? That's... What the fuck? What did she do? Did she feel like that what she did was so bad that she wanted like some form of a crazy punishment? If it even is a suicide, which I hope to God it isn't.
こんなの絶対に自殺なものか。
私だってそう思ってます。富武さんのだって自殺だなんて考えられない。
As the two of us rattled onto each other, there was silence as we paused to catch our breaths. As we calmed our nerves, right then I understood what Shion's story
お
actually
社
meant.
様のたたりってことになると思います。
Oh, fuck me.
私たち語られるのに十分な資格がありますから。
資格って冗談じゃないぞ。
What is wrong with this story world? Oh, trust me. This is only a pinch worse than what Chapter 1 did to me. And, let's just say things happened in Chapter 1 that do not translate here. I won't say anything crazy, but let's just say in Chapter 1 we went to the Watanagashi Festival. We didn't know anything about it back then. In Chapter 2, we went to the Watanagashi Festival. We didn't know anything about it then. I think you could see where I'm going with this. There's like some parallel universe bullshit going on.
別に俺は
Xian wanted to see it with me. I just went along with her. I tried to say that, but I just fell silent. Nothing would come from me blaming others. It didn't matter how much everyone else encouraged me. I could have just put my foot down. I lost to my own half-assed sense of adventure and agreed to go in with them. Yeah, it was my fault, not anyone else's.
シオン、お前は昨べ細工殿の中に忍び込んだらこうなるかもしれないと予想はついてたのか？
まさか。そりゃ多少はヤバいとは思いましたけど、こんなことになるなんて夢にも思いませんでした。
Xian's words were probably her true feelings. She knew that she would get in trouble if we were caught, but that was the thrill of this little adventure. I'm just gonna continue playing Minecraft. Completely understandable, honestly. No blame whatsoever. If I was still in the Minecraft and if I was reading Higurashi for the first time, like just watching someone read it, yeah, I'd probably do the same. I'd probably do the same. It was the same for
それより
me.
もケイちゃん、ちょっとよく考えてください。今年のお社様のたたりはおかしくないですか？
Yeah, 2 people died instead of 1. It was already plain strange seeing how Tomozuke and Takano-san died the way they did. Given all that, what could possibly be stranger? The fact that they both died. Usually, it is 1 death and 1 gets demoned away. But now, we got 2 fucking deaths.
死体が2つ見つかったってことです。言いましたよね。例年は1人が死んで1人が消えるんです。
Exactly.
2人の死亡が確認されたのは今年が初めてです。
確かにそうかもしれないけど、そんなのは大した問題じゃないだろう。
Let's say hypothetically the curse is real in this chapter. What if that means it's getting worse and more people will die every year instead of just 1?
いいえ、ケイちゃん。もっと真剣に考えてください。いいですか？2人の死がお社様のたたりということになってるなら、お社様の怒りを鎮めるための生贄もまた2人分必要なはずなんです。
What the fuck is going on? Oh my god. Oh my god, Higurashi.
そういう理屈になるのか？じゃあなんだよ。富武さんと高野さんが死んだ陰で今年は2人が行方不明になってるってのか？
I don't understand why, but when I said that, I felt my spine
まだ
freeze.
誰も行方不明になってないと思います。多分2人が失踪するのはこれからじゃないかと思うんです。
Shion, like me, was obviously getting the same feeling crawling down her back.
これから2人が失踪する。
Time to say goodbye. Shion didn't answer. I couldn't say any more than that either. A chill crept through my clothes and tried to wrap into a fist around my heart. Cold hands feeling about on my chest. Neither of us could say anything. Tomozuke opened the lock and he died. Takano-san exposed the ritual storehouse and she died. If 2 more people were to be sacrificed, then they would be no other than the ones who entered with them. No other than us.
まさか冗談だろ？
I wanted so much for her to pass this off as a joke. Even after all that was said, I gotta hydrate. Oh god. That, though, was such incredibly difficult and a selfish request. If Tomozuke and Takano-san had died in a common way, like that car accident, I couldn't tell myself it was a coincidence. Instead, he clawed out his own throat, and she was burned to death, drowned in oil in the mountains. The two deaths were so out of the ordinary. I couldn't possibly dismiss this as mere coincidence. It was as if, in exchange for sneaking into the ritual storehouse, there must be someone punishing us, some sort of cruel will working behind the scenes. Even so, I didn't want to accept that terrifying truth. If I did, then I would have to acknowledge that the horrible crisis was growing near for Shion and I. That's why I argued against it. I argued knowing that I was running away.
大地、そんなの新聞に出てないぞ。そんなに奇怪な事件なら絶対に新聞やテレビで報道するはずだろう。
Oh boy.
雑誌記者とかだって面白がって大勢来るに決まってる。
マスコミに報道されないのは当然なんです。過去にそうだったから。
Yeah, that's great. That's totally not concerning. When the incidents occurred 3 years in a row, there were some third-rate magazines that sniffed out the story that ran issues of full gossip columns about Hinamizawa. Fearing that the region would develop a negative stigma, they negotiated with the prefecture and the police. Since last year, it had become a big conspiracy wherein no information about the incident was allowed to be leaked to the media.
村長とか、あと園崎家出身の金バッジが警察に思いっきり圧力をかけたんだって聞いてます。
じゃあつまり二人の死は秘密裏に処理されてしまったということか。
Oh, I love Hinamizawa.
そういうことです。もちろん警察は捜査をしてますよ。でも秘匿捜査ということなので捜査活動にはかなりの制限が加えられているそうです。これは事実上の捜査妨害と言えるでしょうね。
This story was unbelievable. People died, and yet they don't publicize it or deal with it in any, or they just deal with it in
も
secret.
っと噛み砕いて言うと、綿流しの夜に誰が死んでも公にはならないということです。
そんなバカな話があってたまるか。
ケイちゃん、私以前にお社様のたたりは村人が起こしてるかもしれないって言いましたよね。つまりそういうことなんです。このひなみ沢では毎年綿流しの夜にお社様のたたりということにして誰かを殺してもいい土壌がいつの間にか作り上げられているんです。
What the fuck? When someone dies on the night of the Watanagashi, it turns into the curse of Oyashiro-sama. The curse turns into the serial murder incidents. In order to avoid whatever that word is, the negative stigma surrounding Hinamizawa, those incidents were dealt in secret.
バカな。毎年死者と行方不明者が出るんだろ。いくらマイナスイメージって言ったって警察にも限度があるだろう。
Oh boy, I don't even know what's happening, but you know, Jason wanted to drop by. Do you want to hear how Tomotage and Takano-san died? I'll tell you all about it.
毎年の事件が不可解って言うなら警察も本腰を入れられるんでしょうけど、何しろ毎年の事件は個別に解決してますので連続事件という形にならないんですよ。たまたま毎年綿流しの晩に不幸なことが起こる。
Don't stay, run! Jordan just reads that and just goes, okay. She's like, fine, I'm outie. I don't want to know what happens next anyway. I already hear enough crazy bullshit from Ash alone.
それだけのことに。
Most of the criminals responsible for the original dismemberment were arrested. The last one managed to get away. But the events were totally exposed and whatever the word is, doesn't matter. So it was, in essence, resolved. The damn supporting couple who died in the accident the second year, that accidental death, plain and simple. They made a lot of investigations into the possibility of it having being a homicide, but they didn't turn up anything. It ended up as an accident. It was resolved. On the third year, the priest fell ill and passed away. There were doctors present at the hospital at his deathbed, and they all had trustworthy medical certificates. They even did an autopsy. It concluded that it wasn't a homicide. That was resolved as well. And in the 4th year, the sister-in-law of the damn supporting couple was murdered. The criminal was an abnormal man with a history of irregular psychotic fucking hell usage. To make it less scary, I don't know. I'll be explaining it just outright. I mean, if you want to, I don't mind. Just note, I'm going to be reading a lot. He confessed that he thought that Oyashiro-sama's curse was so interesting that he wanted to try it out. The criminal died of an accident while in prison, so this incident was essentially resolved as well. That's right. None of the incidents had any relation to one another, and each was independently resolved.
なのになぜか毎年綿流しの晩に不幸な偶然が起こる。
Alright, understandable. Where is you on my list? I had a lot of people DM me since we last called. Let me also share my silly screen to you. Here's my screen.
Hello.
Hello. So, I'm having a fucking blast!
I couldn't tell. I'm painting a boba earbud case.
That sounds great and cheerful in comparison to what I'm doing.
I want to make it really cute.
Cool. Would you like to hear about Tomosuke-san?
Heck yeah, murder!
Yeah, he clawed out his throat again.
I'm going back to boba.
I love how I just went, he did it again.
I'm going back to boba.
All I gotta say is, sorry, not sorry. Anyways.
連続事件にしたくても連続にならないんです。それでも毎年必ず誰かが死んで誰かが消えていく。
That's true. One person always dies and the other disappears.
You
but
die in the game, you die in real
Oh my
life.
God. So, one person... So, what I'm gathering... Tomosuke and Takano-san are both dead. One of the... So, Tomosuke died the same way how he did in Chapter 1. Your friends are as crazy. Yeah, my cousin's crazy as fuck. Aren't you, Jordan?
I guess so.
Do you like murder?
Murder.
But yeah, so Tomosuke died the same way, but Takano-san died of burning to death.
Died of ligma.
That...
So sad Steve Jobs died of ligma.
Okay, so the prediction here is that since originally it's supposed to be one person dies and the other gets demoned away, my prediction is that 2 people will be demoned away and it's going to be Keiichi and Shion. Just saying. Now I hide from you two and the story. You don't gotta hide from Jordan. She's innocent. She will kick your ankles, though. If you're tall and you tell her about her favorite character to cosplay, Nathan Drake from the Uncharted.
What? Where did this come from? Did this...
Well, you know how Nathan Drake always shimmies across, like, cliffs and stuff? Don't you have to do that for the counters?
You?
Huh?
I don't know.
I'm saying that because you're short.
Shut up!
How did that go over your head?
I don't know.
That went, meow.
I don't know. Listen, I'm a little bit over 5 foot now.
There you go. I'll be honest, I don't know who that is. Nathan Drake is just from a really old video game series known as Uncharted. That is actually coming to PC soon, which I'm pretty hyped for.
No, wait. Crap, I messed up.
Anyway. The story Takano-san told me the day before, during the setup, Now that the curse really had occurred this year, I couldn't just laugh it off anymore.
じゃあ、俺たちも狙われるって言うのか？毎年、一人死ぬと一人が消えるように、富武さんや高野さんの道連れに消えさせられるっていうのかよ。
Probably. My lips had at some point become completely dry, and just saying that was, well, difficult to say the least. Shion did not respond. Her silence, however, was clearest form of confirmation that she could ever give me.
俺たち、そりゃ確かに入っちゃいけないところだったかもしれないが。
She's only now approaching 5 foot. I'm a foot taller. Alright, Jordan, you got another ankle to kick. Or shin, sorry.
Not even reached them.
We'll see.
見ただけだぜ。
Barely freaking reach you.
We'll see what happens. Just drop kick.
Hey, by the way, are you gonna go to the Japanese restaurant with us?
Yes. Yes, I am.
Heck yeah!
I knew you'd be happy to hear that.
Heck yeah!
何かを盗んだり、持ち出したり、見たことを誰かに喋ったわけじゃないんだぜ。
Keiichi, Oishi literally told us that he saw us last night. He knows damn well that we fucked up. He knows damn well that we fucked the fuck right up. I was already regretting having committed such a wrong. Even so, it was really bad that Tomotage-san and Takano-san deserved such... Did they really deserve such cruelty? Ash going out? Let's... Wait, I hope we mean going out as in dying. Because I'll just respawn. It'll be okay.
第一、俺はあんなの見ても全然面白くなかったし、高野さんが見て一人で大喜びしてただけだろ。悪いのは高野さんだけだよ。
Keiichi, what did we just say about blaming others?
俺は全然関係ないぜ。
Keiichi, what did we just say about blaming others?
興味もないし関係ないし、あの中にあったものだって知ったことじゃない。
Keiichi's already trying to throw blame. I knew saying so wouldn't solve anything. I could feel myself, my cold self, in the innermost depths of my heart, disgusted at my pointless howling. However, my emotions had broken through the dam, and I couldn't stop them anymore.
俺はもともと興味なんか全然なかったんだ。リカちゃんの演舞を見ていたかっただけなんだ。
Yeah, and we didn't even get to watch Rika-chan's performance because, oh, I don't know, Shion kind of lured us away. Okay, we can blame her for that regard, but to be fair, nothing more than that.
それをシオンが勝手に連れ出したんじゃないか。あの二人が泥棒しようが何しようが知ったことじゃない。そうだよ。そもそもシオンが中に入ろうって言い出したんだ。ケイちゃんは見ておく必要があるとかなんとか思わせぶりなことを言って中に引き込んだんだ。
And Keiichi's losing his mind.
どうしてくれるんだよ。俺は全然関係ないんだぞ。どうすんだよ。どうすんだよ。どうやって責任を取ってくれるんだよ。おい、聞いて。
Wait, what happened? Click. Without any warning, the phone cut off with the sound of the receiver being
I don't
slammed
think
down.
you could have done that.
Wait. Sound of the receiver being slammed down. I hope to God Shion was the one who slammed it down and not anybody else.
Yeah.
Shion was just as terrified as I was. I just said some really self-centered things. Some self-centered things? Keiichi, we literally just came to the agreement that we weren't going to blame others for what happened. And there you go, just lashing out at Shion. Oh my god. I'm already terrified of Mion. I'm already terrified of Oishi. Now I got a feeling that Shion's gonna be on my ass. My riled up emotions disappeared as if they never existed, and in their place surged waves of deep regret, having run my mouth so irresponsibly. I could only call out Shion's name from beyond the disconnected phone, but it was too late. What have I done?
To lighten the mood, apparently I'm Velma. Apparently I'm considered Velma.
Bonkers.
According to Manny's family, I guess I'm Velma.
Ayo. Shion was only trying to tell me as much that she could do about this thing that was about to descend upon us. As for me, I could only whine like a child about it.
Because you are a child. I mean, am I wrong?
I am well, Keiichi, I don't know how old he is, doesn't matter. I went to call her back, but remember that she lived in Okonomiya. I didn't even know her phone number. Since I had declared to Mion that I hadn't seen Shion last night, I couldn't call Mion to ask for Shion's phone number. I was just too scared. I couldn't even call her back. I was stricken with hopeless regret. I returned the receiver to its stand and simply prayed that Shion would call me back again. Please, Shion, calm down and call me again. Oh! Ring, 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 ring.
もしもし、前原です。
I swept up the receiver as if
Your mother.
it wouldn't go through if I didn't grab it at the exact moment.
前原さんのお宅でしょうか。
Why does his voice sound slightly familiar?
夜分遅くに
It's your mother.
失礼いたします。
It doesn't sound like... No, because Keiichi's mom is home, so...
君吉と申します。
Kimiyoshi?
ご主人様でいらっしゃいますか。
It was the voice of a girl who clearly wasn't Shion. All my hopes rushed out of me.
いえ、違いますけど、親父に用なら呼んできます。
I went to put the receiver back down, but the caller stopped me, her
あ、いえいえ、お忙
letter.
しければ結構なんです。
Is she a middle school student or something?
実は恐縮なんですが、うちのおじいちゃんがお邪魔してませんでしょうか。
Your old man?
いえ、誰も来てませんけど。
そうですか。夜分遅くに申し訳ありませんでした。失礼いたします。
Wait. Old man? Wait. This could just be me being paranoid. But
Oh, no.
Mion is usually referred to as old man. She usually refers to herself as that.
Oh no, Ashley's brain gears are turning.
The dust is flying out of my ears. Still, shit. I didn't know who that was, but what if Shion tried to call while I was on the phone? I thought, bubbling with egotistic anger. Hey, wait. Give it a break, Keiichi Maibara. These are selfish emotions that made Shion mad at me, aren't they?
Bro, you dance.
The more I thought about it, though, the more I thought that Shion had given up hope in the short time since we had our conversation and didn't want to call anymore. Scary things happen when Ash starts thinking ahead. Wow! I mean, to be fair, who wouldn't be terrified when a psychopath starts thinking? Calm yourself, Keiichi. I just realized I've been calling him Maibara, but I'm pretty sure it's Maibara.
Yeah, my bad.
Regardless, I'm a dumbass. If Shion does call again, then first, apologize in a calm voice. If you do that, then Shion should understand. However, no matter how long I waited, the phone didn't ring again that night. I was just doing the opening bit. And we got 2 new scrapbook notes and late night phone call tips. Alright.
Oh, that can only mean one thing.
Oh, I clicked view all the hints. Oopsies. Sorry. It's been a while, okay? It's been actually almost 2 months. Alright, from scrapbook 6? I assume that's 6.
Yeah, that's 6,
Okay.
I believe.
Okay. This is probably going to be what is in, you know what. The significance of Watanagashi. Watanagashi, a festival of hunting for sacrifices and feasting on them. Well...
Oh! Oh!
That's a good start.
This is happy thoughts. Happy thoughts.
While the festival itself isn't
Unicorns,
remarkable,
rainbows, kitties.
it has come to be considered a form of entertainment as well.
Oh, wait, no!
Perhaps it was because of the disparity between being both in oh, for God's sake, Jordan.
Egregious
Act.
in the form of entertainment.
I can read the rest. Thank you very much. That the
can't.
perpetrators begin to believe themselves transcendent. See, I can fucking read. However, I found
Why I'm here.
Shut up. However, I found some very interesting literature that appears to raise questions about the explanation. As with most oral traditions, it's not easily swallowed, but it does mention a few things that sparked my interest. According to this literature, even the residents of the Anafuguchi village felt fear towards the
Onigafuchi. I can just feel the anger.
Jordan, I've read through the entirety of chapter 1. I'm just trying to go off of how I heard them saying it, okay? I'm doing my best. I'm doing my best. What if we did a thing just like Jordan correcting Ash, but every time she does so, she has to level up a class in Final Fantasy XIV? Women and children will grow pale and tremble, and those of weak constitution would vomit. Oh.
Lovely.
That's great. But it is said that the feast and the dissection was an obligatory viewing. Oh, dear God. God, there you go, Jordan. You got a fan. I mean, to be fair, you had a lot back in our old Gmod days, but still.
Yeah.
This is an extremely curious tale. Until now, I had thought that the residents of the You see, now you correcting me is making me second guess myself. Onikafuchi or Futs or Fussy. Fussy.
Onigafuchi.
Onikafuchi. Onikabussy. The point is, the village was very fascinated by the Watanagashi festival. I mean, ritual. Same fucking thing, honestly. There's really no difference at this point. They looked down on those vulgar, barbaric humans and cut them open like fish. And by eating them, they reaffirmed their own holiness? Okay, yeah, because when I think of eating humans, I think of the holy gods themselves.
Exactly, you don't think of that?
At least that's what I thought. However, what if the village, if what the villagers gained from this ritual was not fascination, but fear, then that would suggest that the ritual meant something entirely different. There was a possibility that the executions were meant as warnings, encouraging the villagers to strictly follow the religious precepts created by those with power for their own convenience. Onikafuchi village has been effectively ruled over by 3 old families, called the 3 families. Wow, creative name. Without investigating the 3 families, which I'm assuming one is the Zonozaki family, I probably won't get any closer to the truth of the Onikafuchi village. I forgot if this was Tomozake's book or Takano-san's book. Regardless, it's one. Yeah, of course it's you, because you would love to write about fucking cannibals eating each other. All right, from Scrapbook 7. Now I know that's 7. I played Final Fantasy 7.
Yeah.
The three families refer to the 3 old families who effectively came to rule Anafuguchi village. To break it down, there was the Kimiyoshi family.
Kimiyoshi, Furude, and Sonozaki.
Okay. Sonozaki and Furude family. The Rika Furude and Mion and Shion Sonozaki. Doesn't this seem familiar?
Oh.
Doesn't this seem familiar?
Oh, no.
Who just called us on the phone after the incident was...
No.
Who is that bitch?
No.
Who is that bitch? Who is that bitch?
Wait, I'm gonna turn my fairy lights on. Oh yeah, so I set up my fairy lights recently, and they're so freaking pretty.
Oh yeah?
They're so pretty. Like I love them way too much.
Alright.
I'm obsessed with them.
Though they don't have much control as they did in the remote past, they still hold considerable influence today. The three families are considered by legend to those in whom the blood of the swamp demons runs the thickest. Oh, that's fun. The Kimiyoshi family. The Kimiyoshi family appears to have held a great power as the head of the three families, but it doesn't have that kind of leadership today. The current mayor of the village, Bowser Kimiyoshi, is from this family.
Wait, let me see it. Dang it, though I couldn't see it.
Oopsies.
Well,
The fact that the members of the Kimiyoshi family are elected as mayor every generation is thought to be a remnant of the old system. Of course, as no rival candidates appear, it didn't change the fact that the Kimiyoshi family holds the mayoral office even through popular elections in the post-war era. The Furude family. Okay, here we go. Rika-chan, come on, let your family be normal. The center of the village's faith since the ancient times, the Furude clan has guarded the soul shrine dedicated to Oyashiro-sama. Never mind, I can see where this is thrown out the window. I already forgot everything. They were worshipped as the only people to represent the voice of Oyashiro-sama for a long time, but the family branched off after the war and lost most of its power, and now only consists of the main house. The main house, presently consists of only one daughter, which is Rika. So the lineage may end in this generation. There is apparently an old tradition of honoring females in the Furude family, so the only daughter, Rika, is subject of so much respect among the elderly of the village. I guess that does make a lot of sense. She is freaking adorable, too. The Sonozaki family. This is where curse shit's gonna come, huh?
oh no.
It is said that this family had a certain police-like role of protecting the religious precepts of the Anafuguchi village. Of the three families, their relatively weak position can be seen from me putting them here last. Of course, today, the Sonozaki family is flourishing, and the state of affairs among the three families has completely reversed. Even now, one could say that they are in control of Hinamizawa. The three families conferring with one another is similar to the old way. The current head of the Sonozaki family, Oryu, I'm assuming that's how you say it, essentially just... I'm sorry?
Oreo!
Oreo?
Oreo! He's a cookie!
Essentially decides all of the going-ons in the village by herself. Oh, by herself. Oops. She's a cookie, Jordan. She's a cookie. Nah, it's good. I was gonna actually go like, well, we actually don't know if it's male or female, and then I read the bottom, I'm like, well, there's our answer.
I almost fell off of my chair.
Very good. Late night phone call. This has to do with the police.
It's me.
You're the police?
Yeah, you didn't know.
夜分遅くに失礼いたします。君吉と申しますが、ご主人でいらっしゃいますか。
Wait, what?
はい。いえ、その説は本当にありがとうございます。
Okay, so this is probably the old man that the girl was referring to then, which means, thank God it's not Mion.
それでですね、こんな時間に大変恐縮なのですが、うちのおじいちゃんがお邪魔してないかと思いまして。
Never mind. Now I'm confused.
ですよね。はい。こんな時間に申し訳ありませんでした。それでは失礼いたします。ごめんください。
どうだい？ダメ？
参ったな。どんなに熱中しても電話くらいはしてくれる人なんだけれどな。
囲碁の人の家は全部電話したんでしょ？
Wasn't Kimiyoshi the name of the little girl that just called you?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, when I heard the male voice, I was thinking to myself, oh, maybe this is the old man. But then, like, was asking the same shit. And I'm sitting back like, wait a goddamn minute.
Yo, is he using a voice changer?
I don't know. Higurashi takes place in, like, a little bit of older times, so I don't think they could have done anything like that.
はい、君吉です。
Oh.
園崎です。
ど
うです？
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
村長さんが見つからなきゃ。
Have you found the mayor? Is the old man the mayor?
ああ、ミオンちゃんか。片っ端から電話をかけてみたけど、
Wait,
ダメだよ。
was Keiichi just being delirious and didn't actually... and it wasn't actually a girl?
見つからないんだ。参ったな。どこで油を売ってるのかな。
こっちでも心当たりにいろいろと問い合わせましたけど、
Wait,
全然。
what if the old man got demoned away?
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
ばっちゃんにも相談したんですが、青年団を招集して探し回った方がいいだろうということです。
This isn't good.
こんな時間にかい。それに別に行方不明になったと決まったわけでもないし。
Dude, the Wat Nagashi just recently happened. It's not exactly far to say that someone could have potentially gone missing.
綿流しの直後ですから、
Yeah, see, even
少し
Mion
慎
says
重に
so.
扱った方がいいとのことです。
I mean, I don't trust Mion. She gave me the fucking... the soulless eye look like 2 months ago when I last read, so... to say the least, I don't trust going near her again.
それでも見つからないなら、明朝警察に通報しましょう。
Like, even Oishi got decently close to wanting to do that with me. And it was freaking Oishi!
見つかる見つからないは別にして、痛くない腹を探られない方がいいでしょうから。
What did you... you okay?
I accidentally dropped it.
What did you drop?
No. Okay, it's fine. Don't worry.
She's like,
It's
oh,
fine.
don't worry, guys, I just dropped Skitty.
She's laying down.
Oh.
No, my earbud case fell and it's still trying to dry.
Oh, okay.
おりょうさんがそう言ったのかい。
It's fine.
Oreo. Oh, it's Oreo, it's not Oreo.
Or I'm still calling him Oreo.
はい。直接声を聞かないと信用できないなら、電話先に出させますよ。
いえいえ、わかりました。青年団を集めて探しましょ
Why you...
う。それで見つからなければ、翌朝に警察に通報します。
青年団の連絡もよろしくお願いしますね。私もバッチャの代行ということで、そちらに参ります。
ありがとう。すぐにみんなを集めます。
ええ。では。
What the fuck is going on?
I'm confused.
Higurashi when they cry. A 7th expansion presents Welcome to Hinamizawa when they cry. Sounds like he's taking a shit. I don't know. We're gonna have to see what goes down. Alright. End of chapter 8. I don't remember how many chapters was in chapter 1.
I was about to say, how many chapters are in the game?
I don't remember. I think it was like around 13 or 14. Which means I'm probably a quarter way done.
You're getting close.
And
I'm already confused.
There was no way I would be able to sleep. When she hung up the phone like that, I realized for the first time what kind of situation I was in. As well as who was the only ally who would be able to support me. I waited with a bated breath for Shion to calm down and call me back. What would I do if the phone rang while I was sound asleep? No matter how long I waited, she never rang. Exhausted, whenever my mind started to wander, I would jolt awake as though I heard a phone ring. In the end, I brought the cordless phone with me to my futon and went to sleep with it in my arms. Though, it still didn't amount to anything. Morning came, and by that time, I was pretty sure that she wasn't calling back. That was when the fierce drowsiness assailed me.
くそ、寝ぼけてる場合じゃないぞ、前原圭一。
I slapped myself in the face a few times. Then I went to the washroom, washed my face, which was something I usually don't do. That wasn't enough either. So I even brushed my teeth. What? You don't brush your teeth?
No. Let me get this straight. Washing your face and slapping yourself doesn't work, but you think brushing your teeth will?
I think we should be more worried at the fact that apparently he doesn't commonly brush his teeth. After that, I was finally... When my mom saw how strange I was acting, her eyes went wide.
どうしたのケイチ？今日はどこかにお出かけでもするの？
うん、
Why is that the
学
thing
校
you're
に。
worried about?
I'm so excited to see Mion again.
Oh no.
Oh, we just have the ability to teleport, I guess. Oh, Reina, hi!
Hi.
I never thought I'd say this, but Reina, I missed you. Don't leave me.
I feel that one.
I wish. I didn't want to be here.
風邪じゃなくて寝不足なんだ。寝ぼけてわけのわかんないことを言い出したらフォローよろしくな。
If I space out and start talking nonsense, just...
ケイチくん、寝ぼけたらどんなこと喋り出すのか
Oh,
な
now you think it's a game.
Talk I've ever heard.
There's the Among Us right there, Jordan.
Among Us.
ちょっと楽しみかも。
God damn it, she's gonna think it's cute and try to take me home. I felt
Probably.
utterly shattered, and I still haven't picked myself back up from this morning. And for precisely that reason, Reina's honest smile was a sight for sore eyes.
よ、
Oh.
I love how I heard what sounded like a buzzer from your mic when she showed up. It was basically telling me red alert.
I'm so sorry.
It was so well timed. It was practically telling me red alert.
I'm so sorry.
Oh god.
ケイちゃんに入れな。
Hey, Mion. You look different than how when you talked to me last time. You actually have light in your eyes. Let's, You want to talk outside at school? I want to apologize to you for lying to your face.
お
God,
は
that
よ
was funny.
あれれみーちゃんもなんだか寝不足な感じだよ。だよ。
Mion had gone home early yesterday with a hangover, but she didn't
She
look too
drunk?
good this morning. Yep, she was.
Why was she drunk?
Because she's silly.
That's the perfect excuse for a hangover. Because I'm silly. That's why.
Her usual cheerfulness was completely buried in shadow.
うん。
Just drinking all your sorrows away, and then the next morning your parents find you like, what happened? I'm just silly.
That's the same energy. That's the same energy as you call me out. Just like you're literally gonna leave someone out in the street because wait, he's not Majima.
He's not Majima.
I'll never forget that day.
God, that was funny.
But yeah, Mion apparently drinks
寝たの3時ぐらいだからね。
at like 3. Yo, that's when I plan to sleep tonight. Fuck.
眠い。
You're a little tired, then sleep. You're at school.
good.
Just sleep.
3時昨日に続いてかおいおい夜更かしにも限度ってもんがあるぞ。
Bet, Keiichi.
大方漫画の単行本が面白くなっちゃって一巻から読破してしまったんだろ。うんうん俺にも経験があるぞ。
I've done that before. Oh god. I joked, trying to shake off my sleepiness, and I was trying to be considerate. However, neither Mion or Reina smiled. In fact, they didn't even pay attention. Reina's expression immediately darkened.
Uh-oh.
あれひょっとして村長さんのこと
Eh?
まだ見つかってないの
Eh?
Oh no.
うん。
おいちょっと待ってくれ。村長さんが見つかってないって何の話だ？
Even the classroom, which was normally bustling with bright, joking voices, seemed filled with a different sort of murmur today.
おはようございます、ケイチさん。
I don't like how cheerful you sound.
聞きました？
Harder.
なんだか大変なことになりましたわね。
Why this music?
Satsuko? You didn't say jack shit in chapter 1, so the fact that you're doing this now has me also on red alert.
俺はその村長さんって人をよく知らないんだが、ジジイなんだろ？ボケて徘徊してるだけじゃないのか？
村長さんはボケてなんかいませんですわ。お習字も教えるし、剣道も教える、はつらつな方でございますの。
And swordsmanship. Ooh, now that's actually interesting.
How do you know this, little child?
Go harder.
Go harder.
僕と同じで、きっとどこかで迷子なのですよ。
Rika, when you say you of all people get lost, that's worrying. somehow more worrying than everything else that's happened so far.
迷子いいね
Heal.
お持ち帰り
Heal. Getting lost is only cute because children like Rika-chan can do it. A worn-out old man getting lost isn't moe in the slightest. While my mind entertained dumb thoughts like that, that's when our teacher arrived. Everyone rushed over to their seats. Let me guess, we're gonna skip to when school's done?
皆さん
Or no? Okay.
おはようございます
Good morning. The class greeting was normal, but the atmosphere of the room was heavy.
すでに聞いている方もいるかもしれませんが、昨日の夜、村長さんが夜遅くになってもお家に帰ってこなかったのだそうです。皆さんの中で昨日村長さんを見た人はいますか？
One or two hands went up in silence, and they told her about having seen him. But none of it seemed to be vital information, however, and everyone began whispering among themselves.
もしも村長さんを見かけた人は大人の人に教えてあげてくださいね。
We're in a class that is mixed with elementary, middle school, and high schoolers. What the fuck do you mean?
I'm confused.
それでは
It's
授
a
業を
long
始めます。
story. Long story short, this is the only school in Hinamizawa, so all grades are here. But yeah, that's
I don't know how to feel about that.
yeah, that's kind of weird. After that, the same old lessons began. Time skip, please. Let me hear the bell. Let's go. The rumors, once quieted, blossomed in flowers again at lunchtime. Oh, fuck! We're still at lunchtime. I could hear a few different conversations. They were most likely related to the mayor's disappearance. Oh, sorry, they were mostly. My bad, sorry.
You can read.
Yeah, I know. Summing them all up, I came out with this. Yesterday evening, the mayor went to a meeting at the Shrine's Assembly Hall. The meeting ended after the sun fully set, and then everybody left. The elder's house was a bit far from the center of Hinamizawa. It was already late, and Hinamizawa doesn't have a lot of lights outside. Nobody saw the mayor after the meeting. However, because he would have been hungry, he wouldn't have taken any side trips. He would have just gone straight home. However, no matter how long his family waited, he never returned. Some thought that there might have been an accident. They left no stone unturned. They searched from the
Irrigation.
What the fuck does that word even mean? Irrigation channels to the water wells, and even in the rice paddies? I was about to say fucking paddles. But they didn't find them.
The rice paddles.
Of course.
How would that work? Is it just paddles made out of rice?
I don't know, maybe. Of course, there was no limit to how far they would search in the middle of the night. The police were going to wait for daylight, and then have the young men of the town help the search. If after all that they still didn't find him, they were apparently even going to look into the mountains.
Oh, heck yeah.
Even now, at this moment, the adults were probably all still searching for him. The more that they searched in vain, and the more the time has passed, the only thing that came to my mind was the curse. The rumors of the Okikakushi. God damn it.
Onikakushi.
I was going to say, that's the name of the first chapter. Why can I still not say that? The demoning away.
Yeah.
Had he become this year's sacrifice to Oyashiro-sama's curse, then... Had he become this year's sacrifice to Oyashiro-sama's curse, which had been recently been occurring every year? Wait, let's say hypothetically he does, and if our theory is right that 2 people might get demoned away due to 2 people dying, does that mean that only Shion will get demoned away? Or is it because I'm the protagonist and Keiichi will get demoned away? Regardless, I'm not looking forward to this.
Probably because you're the protagonist.
We'll see what happens. That scary possibility which everybody thought about, but nobody could say aloud. was slowly but surely spreading throughout the village. Was he demoned away and offered as a sacrifice to quell Orishiro-sama's anger? My classmates were whispering to each other that the curse didn't happen this year, so there shouldn't have been any sacrifices. I, on the other hand, I knew. The curse did happen again this year, and there were 2 people that died. This may sound strange, but I hadn't exactly thought that the elder would be the one to go missing. My reason was clear. Shion and I should have been higher priority than him. The 4 of us were the thieves that broke the taboo and set foot into the sacred ritual storehouse. If Tomatake and Takano's sons had suffered mysterious deaths, then it should have been me and Mion's turn next.
今度こそ俺がシオンの番なのにな。
I laughed painfully to myself. I'd yelled at Shion over the phone that I didn't want to end up such a terrifying situation, but now that someone other than me had disappeared, I can only think that I should have just been the first to go. Onibaguchi, the bottomless swamp said to have been the place where they drowned sacrifices long ago. Just as it ran through my thoughts, the villagers must have also considered the swamp. Maybe police divers were plumbing its depths even now. They possibly wouldn't find anyone. Not a single missing person had ever been found. They'd always suspected Onibaguchi, but not once have they ever turned up a corpse from it. After all, it was a devilish bottomless swamp, from which no one who sinks can ever return. I could hear someone telling their friend that in the classroom.
そういえば、サトシさんがいなくなったのも去年の今頃だったね。
Oh God. Damn it. Not him again. Can we put him to rest?
I'm confused.
Long story short,
Signaling the context squad.
in chapter 1, Satoshi-san was the one who got demoned away before Keiichi last year.
Oh, wait, I think I remember.
And according to info that I heard from other sources, he is apparently Satoko's brother.
Uh-oh. From other sources?
Yeah, in other words, I might have gotten spoiled.
My sources, I made it.
My sources that I made. Huh? Satoshi? I've heard that name somewhere before. He was right. He disappeared because of last year's curse. The conversation was happening in the seat next to me. I could hear it clearly.
サトシさんの時も確かこんな風に村中で探したんじゃなかったっけ？あれも見つからなかったんだよね。
This is fucked.
あれって結局どうなったんだっけ？確か鬼隠しじゃなかったんだよね。
Yeah. A lot of silly stuff.
うん。貯金を全部下ろして家出しちゃったんだって聞いたよ。
I need to be
警察の人が名古屋駅で新幹線に乗るところを見た人がいるとか言ってたもん。
I need to collect myself for a second. While Jordan's gone, I'm just gonna collect myself for a sec, cause like... Oh boy. What a world that I live in. What a world that I fucking live in. Yeah, to say the least, I am indeed the big worried about what's gonna happen next. It's usually good to go ahead and just chill for a bit. Let my mind run rampant for a while. Okay, let's go ahead and continue, actually. Ran away, huh? I wasn't that interested in the reason, which seemed understandable in this case. Everyone else who had disappeared had their own reasons, too. Either way, or either they were still on the run because they were criminals, or they were a corpse that couldn't be found. It was not like any of them suddenly disappeared into thin air for no reason, but they disappeared. Someone disappeared whenever the curse took a life, as if by design. They may have had various understandable reasons, but they still disappeared. From that point of view, it might have actually been a demon away this time. The mayor's disappearance was first such an incident without a clear reason behind it. Of course, coming to that realization didn't help to resolve anything.
今日は味の加減を間違えちゃった
Oh,
みたい
hi,
だね。
yes.
Yeah, I know, right?
ごめん。
Normally, Reina's lunch would have been devoured immediately, but today, there was still a ton left.
Oh, I was gonna say something. I was gonna say something I shouldn't.
Oh, understandable.
Actually, because I don't know if it's against George Davis.
Understandable, too. I kind of figured. That wasn't because that Reina's lunch didn't taste good or anything, though. It's because the...
そんなことありませんのよ。レナさんのお弁当は今日もとっても美味でしたよ。
Satoko dips her chopsticks into Reina's bento box and pulls bits of food out one after the other.
美味しい美味しい。今日も格別でしたよ。
Gremlin.
Gremlin.
あれそれかぼちゃのコロッケだよ。大丈夫
Huh?
レナさんのかぼちゃならとっても美味しいですわ。
Wait.
Oh, is she just a picky eater or something?
I was just gonna say, like... Does Satoko not like pumpkin? Regardless, she forced herself to smile and shoved more into her mouth. Everyone knew. Nobody's lunch tasted that very good today. Or sorry, that good today. What the fuck was that? What the fuck was that? What was that? What was that? What was that? What was that?
You?
Satoko kept shoveling it down, repeating her remark on how good it was.
そんなにうまいなら俺もいただかないとな。このままじゃ全部サトコに食われちまう。
あんまりにも美味しいので、ぜひケイキさんにも召し上がってほしいですわね。
I'm scared. Did she poison this thing?
Yeah. Satoko, you seem a little nicer than usual. You still got the brattiness to your side, but I don't like this.
たまには俺も年上らしい寛大さを見せないとな。よし、遠慮するな。今日は俺の分まで食ってよし。
うわー。
What?
She
She really hated pumpkin, didn't she? That made it all more touching to see Satoko's own brand of generosity. I grabbed her head and started stroking it. Satoko, in a somewhat exaggerated fashion, was bawling, tears streaming down her face.
嘘だよ。そんなにうまいものを譲るほど大人にはなれないよ。レナも食え。俺のは夕べのおでんの残り物だが、おでんは一晩経ってからがうまいんだぜ。
お大根が綺麗な色に透き通ってて美味しそう。じゃあいただこうかな。
Reina reached out with her chopsticks, and at last, the unusual lunchtime atmosphere begun to return. Or sorry, the usual, not unusual. Apologies. That was only at our desks, however. The dark tales of Orishiro-sama's curse, which had reoccurred for 5 years in a row, did not cease. The whole classroom remained stuck in this somber mood. Orishiro-sama's curse had happened for 5 years straight. Everyone had wanted the previous year to be the last. What was Orishiro-sama's curse anyway? They were going to build a dam in Hinamizawa. The people building it were bad, so they were cursed. I would admit to that much. Still, the dam project was frozen years ago, wasn't it? So why was the curse so stubborn at persisting? I hit myself on the cheeks to perk myself back up. Everyone was trying so hard to brighten the mood, and I couldn't go straight back to thinking about the curse like this. I forced that grim story out of my head. Driving Orishiro-sama's curse out of my thoughts was actually a pretty good idea. In the end, that meant that I could also be driving away from the most terrifying thought of all, that I could be the curse's next target.
しかしミオンは遅いな。
Let's not check on her. let's just not. No reason. It's not that I don't. It's not that. Please, for the love of God.
あいつのお手洗いってこんなに長いのか？
Mion had said that she was going to wash her hands and left, but she hadn't come back yet.
多分どっかでお昼寝してるんだと思う。
Social distancing, have you ever heard of it?
昨べはきっと遅くまで村長さんを探すお手伝いをしてたんだと思うから。
Okay.
Please social distance, Reina.
I smiled a bit and let out a sigh. Today was just no good.
That's no good.
However much we tried to lighten the mood, things always just came back to the fucking mare. It was just a no good day. I had just transferred here recently, so the shock of a curse happening 5 years running was, well, unimaginably a big one. Maybe I do need to appreciate that.
村長さんはね、ちっちゃかった頃、みーちゃんのことをすごく可愛がってくれたんだって。いたずら盛りのみーちゃんをすごく可愛がってくれたって、よく話してたな。
I see.
Uh-oh.
Mion was in shock too. Someone disappearing at all because of the curse was a very scary thing. If the sacrifice was someone you knew, though, then the shock would be 100 times worse. Satoko, as she had come to the same conclusion, bit her lower lip and looked downward.
そういえばリカちゃんも遅いな。
Wait, did Rika say that she left to go somewhere? I actually don't remember.
I don't know, but I'm scared.
ひょっとしてリカちゃんも仲良くお昼寝か？
Remember when I said that I didn't want to check on Mion?
I don't know if you want to check on
I
me
changed
either.
my mind. I all of a sudden really changed my mind.
I'm scared.
リカはそんなに遅くまではお付き合いしませんでしたわ。
Please.
I'm not worried about Satoko. Reina, on the other hand, being this close, that I don't trust.
I'm
リカがあ
scared.
くびをしたら、皆さんみんなしておやすみなさいませ、おやすみなさいませって。
Oh no.
Now she mentioned it, there were a lot of old people rubbing their prayer beads in
I thought that said prayer boobs.
So there was gratitude towards Rika-chan during the festival, which is pretty
Fervent.
poggers. Look, I'm not even gonna try. I'm dyslexic. An image of an god damn it. Indulgent. The thing
Holy
is, I can get a lot of words, just sometimes they stump me and I'm like, son of a bitch.
No, I feel this.
Had Rika-chan discovered a way to get herself to be pampered like that?
リカちゃんって何気に年寄りのアイドルだな。理想の孫娘像ってやつなのか？
そんなの知らない。
Somehow this music seems less settling.
でも、リカちゃんのあくびなら見てみたい。
あ、
きっとね、ぽ
And there she goes, she's in cute mode.
お持ち帰り。
No kidnapping.
そんなに可愛いとも思い
How
ま
should
せん
be
けど。
pedophile?
ふわーって喉の奥まで覗けるくらいの大あくびでしたよ。リカちゃんの大あくび。は
Yeah, she's gonna be a pedophile when she gets older.
Reina's handy at times like these. I really hate how that's what the dialogue is after what you said.
What do you want to do when you grow up, sweetie? I want to kill children.
I finally managed a heartfelt laugh. Alright. I'm on day duty today, aren't I? I need to go water the flower garden. The garden is outside the teacher's lounge, too. so they can immediately tell if you don't do it right.
リカちゃんのだけじゃなく、さとこちゃんのも可愛いと思うわ。おー、あくび。
Calm down. What the fuck was that?
窒
What am I
息。
supposed to say?
Oh, wait, is Reina hugging her?
ちらっと見えた。可愛いの見えた。さとこちゃんのあくびも可愛い。お持ち帰り。
These humans are fucked.
Oh no.
Reina was strangling Satoko. I
Oh,
don't think
God.
that counts as yawning. You know, Reina is... I can't say it out loud, but she is notorious. Oh!
Yes, she's a pedophile. She's a pedophile.
No! Sweat.
Oh no, we've got an EDP situation.
I'm scared. I'm sorry, Twitch. Reina did it. By the gods. Bestowed to you. Hearing Satoko make a weird noise like a chicken strangled was somewhat hilarious, and I couldn't help but to laugh. At some point, the classroom had erupted into laughter too. Maybe Reina was doing it on purpose. Even if she wasn't, this nonsense was a welcome sight. Anyway, let's get over to the flowers while I still have time. Slowly and quietly, lest I destroy the room's newfound peace, I left the classroom. The watering can was hanging up outside the kitchen. This building was originally made as an all-male forestry service building, so there was apparently nothing so thoughtful as a garden here before. When they decided to have a school share the space, they built one there as a modest gesture of appreciation. Oh yeah, they were like heavily appreciated and shit.
Appreciation from above.
But well, the flower bed, it was a little longer than you'd expect. It went all around. It went all over the place. It was so big that one would need to refill the watering can 5 or 6 times just to get it all done. I was doing this together with a kid who was also thankfully on day duty today. She was in the lowest grade though, so a full size smaller than even Rika-chan. I couldn't make the kid who would struggle just to lift a full watering can, I couldn't make a kid who would struggle just to lift a full watering can help me with this. If you were placed on day duty with someone who liked this sort of thing, they would all do it for you, so it became...
悪態をついても仕方ないな。諦めて仕事を始めるか。
Watering can in hand, just as I was about to leave the building, the old man from the forestry office addressed me.
兄ちゃん、倉庫裏に菜園があるだろ。だいぶくたびれかけたぞ。あそこにも水をやってあげな。
ああ、カレー菜園ですか。じゃがいもとか人参とか、カレーの具しか栽培してないっていう。
It's definitely a personal garden of our curry-loving teacher, but making the students responsible for its upkeeping, it's getting them involved in her personal affairs. True, that teacher fucking loves her curry, I swear. Like, so much to the point to where she's horrifying when you insult it. Almost Josuke insulting his hair levels. I couldn't say that to his face, though, so I gave up and decided to carry out my day duties. The sunlight out front was strong. The great chorus of the cicadas was strongly underlining how nothing was different today than yesterday. I passed by the classroom, and I didn't know how it happened, but Reina and Satoko were in the middle of a huge melee. While I was gone... I won't lie, I don't know what you did, but it almost sounded like Brendan was here for a second. I was like, what the...
I just said hiya.
Oh. Wait, you were making a god...
You just realized?
Oh my god, it didn't even cross my mind until you... Okay. While I was gone, the kids had arranged all the desks in a circle, forming a ring, while someone was cheering them on? Yeah, that's how it should be. Once school ended, we would return to reality. where talk of the elder's disappearance would once again be all over the place. I wanted everyone to forget about everything and just have fun, just like yesterday, if only while they were at school. In that sense, Satsuko's whirling elbow and Reina's backwards flying spin kick made for a pleasant sight, even if as a result, they flipped over my desk.
Oh, heck yeah.
That's my pencil box! Gah. I'll just let it happen today. I set to work, hastily watering everything, wanting nothing more than to be done as soon as possible. That should be about to it. No sooner had I thought that I remember that oh my god, so many eyes and that's and thoughts and there's so many TH words, it's fucking killing me. I had to water the teacher's curry vegetable garden too.
めんどくさいが、やらないと後で色々と不利益なことがありそうな気がする。
I gave up, filled the can with water again, and headed behind the warehouse. It was a place that the students didn't like to go. It was always so damp here, and you couldn't discard the possibility of slugs and pill bugs being around.
Why would you not want a slug next to you?
Gee, I wonder why.
They're just... No, because they're friend-shaped. They are friend-shaped, and you know it.
They're gonna be squish-shaped if they ain't careful.
But they're shaped like a friend. Same with snails.
Anything that is smaller and below me is shaped as my enemy.
Dang, am I your enemy?
No, you're smaller, but you're not below me.
Yeah,
No, below me is in terms of rank.
Oh, I thought you meant in terms of height.
No. No, if anything, then I would have just said one or the other.
I thought you just wanted to say it because it sounded cool.
I mean, it did sound cool. Anyways.
Okay, Grandma, now let's get you back to sleep.
Oh. So when I ran across her in a place like that, I was surprised. Rika?
Bug!
Whoa!
リカちゃんか。驚かせるなよ。
Rika-chan was just standing there, like a puppet, devoid of life.
Uh-oh.
I was the only one who was startled here. Rika-chan didn't even seem to react to my appearance.
リカちゃん?
Are you okay? Finally, she noticed me. And her expression was clearly abnormal. Yeah, I have never seen that sprite before.
Scared.
There was red under her eyes, stained with tears and dirt.
Oh no.
There were blades of grass stuck in her hair too, and her clothes looked as if she had fallen to the ground.
リカちゃん!
Oh, I'm scared.
ひょっとして怪我したのか? 転んだとか?
違うのです。
Rika-chan said in the brightest voice she could manage as she rubbed her eyes. She didn't look anywhere near normal though.
何があったんだ? まさか倉庫の屋根の上で昼寝とかしてて落ちたとか?
僕のことはいいのです。それよりも、圭一に聞きたいことがあるのです。
I swear to God, if you ask me what I think you're gonna ask me, I'm gonna lose my shit.
I'm scared. Okay.
Rika-chan walked over and clung on to me. At first, I thought she was playing a trick on me. Eventually, however, I realized that I couldn't run away from the question she was about to ask. I shuddered.
俺に、なんだよ?
She looked straight into my eyes.
Oh no.
Her upturned eyes bored right into me. It was as if though they were trying to pull the answer out from my own eyes, without actually asking me the question.
I'm scared.
It was scary, so I averted my eyes from hers.
圭一?
Yes!
お祭りの晩に何か悪いことをしましたか?
Okay, not exactly what I thought you were gonna ask, but it's not exactly far from it either. My body gave a jolt from its very core. Rika-chan, who was clinging on to me, might have felt my shiver.
I'm scared.
A nervous tingle crawled up from my feet, and after going up my back and freezing up my entire body, dude, I'm freezing up, I just stuttered, made its way into my brain.
圭一?
Yeah?
本当に覚えはありませんか?
I have amnesia. I'm Shadow the Hedgehog. head began to throb. I don't understand anything. Mion asked me. Oishi-san asked me. Shion asked me. And now, Rika-chan was asking me.
Oh no!
We thought nobody knew about what we did last night, but in fact, everyone knew? They all knew, and they all came to ask me.
Uh-oh!
Again and again, until I admitted it. When I thought about it, it was pretty clear that the whole thing was out in the open. After all, didn't Tomotage and Takano-san's death just prove it?
Keiichi?
Yeah.
I'm scared.
How do I respond? We never should have entered the Forbidden Storehouse, even though I regretted it as much. Was she saying that it wasn't enough? However, I had decided about what I was going to say.
俺もそこが悪いからな。悪いことの覚えが多すぎて見当がつかないよ。
Just as I had with the other, I evaded the question. Rika-chan stared at me with innocent eyes. Her eyes were so painful that I had to look away. After a few moments of mutual silence, Rika-chan released me.
変なことを聞いてごめんなさいなのです。
She knows something.
I'm scared of
She
you,
knows
little child.
忘れてくださいなのですよ。
Rika-chan, you can't tell me to forget about it. And how will I never forget about it? Simple answer, tell it to the VOD. Tell it to the...
I'm scared.
My fear has risen up from the roots of humanity.
I'm going to carve my name into an eraser. To forget about this.
Oh boy, alright. We can't back out now. Let's go. She said, smiling her usual smile. Then, tap, 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 tap. She went running off, as if nothing happened. As she retreated in silence, I could feel her accusing me.
I don't like this. I didn't sign up for this.
Rika-chan!
If she didn't hear my voice, then I was going to give up. However, she heard it. Rika-chan around and waited for me to continue. I was the one who had questions now. Still, asking any of them could just be a half-assed way of admitting what I did.
なあ、Rika-chan。
はいなのです。
If everyone knows anyway, then I should be able to at least ask this, right? Why is everyone asking me about the night of the festival? That evening. Had I done something that wrong? I felt plenty sorry about it. I only looked anyway. I didn't break anything, nor did I steal anything. Really? Still, Tomotage and Takano-san, they died so miserably. Since those two had come to such an end, there was obviously no way it would forgive only me. Rika-chan cutely tilted her head in confusion and waited for me to say something. If I were to admit what happened last night, though, she might suddenly do a 180 as if flipping a switch. That would make sense. Rika-chan was the Shrine Maiden. She was the least likely to forgive me for breaking the taboo, wasn't she? Upon reflection, wouldn't telling her be more terrifying than telling Mion or even Oishi-san?
What if something happened to them, though?
What happened to what?
What if something happened to Mion or something?
I don't think that'll be the case.
Because didn't she go missing too? Didn't she
Mion's
appear somewhere too?
Well, I mean, she is somewhere. I don't know where she fucking went. But something tells me we'll find out more about it in a bit.
Next time on Dragon Ball Z.
Rika-chan could just give up and leave, couldn't she? She didn't. She only was quietly waiting. Quietly waiting, just for me to say it myself. Say it, Keiichi?
Keiichi Kuchi.
Keiichi Maibara.
Kuchi Maibara.
If you really are sorry, then you should say so. Of course, it's normal to hesitate, given the crazy way Tomotage-san and Takano-san died. The pulping machine called Chaos was grinding up in my brain. The juice wrung out of it, turned into big droplets of sweat which began to fall.
Keiichi?
but
And
I'm
she's patting me
so-
on the head. Okay.
圭一が何を悩んでいるのか、僕にはよくわからないのです。
What happened to you being able to read my fucking mind, huh?
I'm
I had
scared.
nothing to say to that. I lowered my head a little so that Rika-chan's palm could reach it. She patted me, kind of like one would a cat.
境内の裏を少し行ったところに大きな倉庫があるのをご存知ですか？
No, I don't. Please tell me all about it. I'm very interested.
西宮殿と言いますです。
Yeah, tell me all about it. I want to learn more. My breath literally stopped. Rika-chan, though, wasn't acting in any sort of fucked up way.
お祭りの晩、その西宮殿に猫さんが入り込んだのだそうです。
You're petting me like a cat. You're petting me like a cat. You're petting me like a cat.
猫？
猫。
はい。
You're petting me like a cat. You're petting me like a cat.
Yeah.
猫さんです。
Yeah. Why are you petting me like a cat?
にゃーにゃーなのです。
Hey, Rika. Fun fact, cats can't lockpick. Rika-chan knew. She realized I was in fear. She could tell that I was desperately trying to choose the right words so that she wouldn't scare me.
猫さんは前から西宮殿の中を探検してみたいと思っていました。でも僕が意地悪をして中を見せてあげなかったのです。なので祭りの夜、猫さんは我慢できなくなって中に入ってみましたのです。
The cat. It was clearly supposed to be Takano-san. Wait. What? Well, wait, was it supposed to be me?
実は中には猫さんが怖がるものがたくさんあったのです。
A lot of things that scared the cat. Okay, so not Takano-san because she was interested in that shit. Rika-chan made a cute gesture, like a ghost was coming out to frighten me.
猫さんはびっくり仰天。
Both terrified and amazed? Maybe Keiichi or Shion?
一目散に逃げ出してガタガタブルブルニャーニャーで大変なのです。
Maybe neither?
その猫が誰だって言うんだ？
猫さんは猫さんです。
Yeah. Why'd you pet me like a cat?
ニャーニャー。
Don't you meow meow me. She still avoided saying it. The cat, though, was without a doubt me.
リカちゃん、頼む。教えてくれ。その猫さんはこれからどうしたらいい？
Maybe it was a desperate question to ask.
Desperate.
I had sort of admitted to being the cat.
猫さんは猫さんですから、ニャーニャー泣いてるだけで大丈夫ですよ。
What if that's her way of saying keep begging for forgiveness? I don't trust that shit.
大丈夫ってそんないい加減な。
ニャーニャー泣いてるだけではダメなのですか？
I was gonna say maybe that means just mind your business or something.
Oh,
But
well,
then you had to turn
that's
it
what
out.
I tried to do in chapter 1, and look at where that got me. I almost died. Oh wait, yes, I did die. Jeez, Rika-chan and I have put together an entire conversation using cat as a code word. I didn't say it directly, but I had already admitted it. I didn't want to end up like those two. I didn't want to be a sacrifice like Shion said. That was what I thought, so I stubbornly remained silent. But now, that's enough.
泣いてるだけじゃダメなんだ。猫さんがいたずら心で忍び込んだのを。
犬さん。
そうだ、犬さんなんだ。猫さんのところへ代わる代わるやってきて、忍び込んだだろうって問いただしてくるんだ。
Okay, yeah. That's our Keiichi. He may be a scared person, but he's clever. He's clever as fuck. We can't forget that. He's smart as hell. Uh-oh. After what I said, Rika-chan's expression clouded over. She was trying to hide it, but I already noticed her eyes darkening.
リカちゃん
The silence was frightening, so I spurred her on. At that point, Rika-chan grinned.
I'm scared.
大丈夫ですよ。
I honestly thought she was gonna get right up at my face with the light gone in her eyes. I keep thinking of that Reina incident from chapter 1, okay? Like, that's never gonna leave me.
Whatever. Has
猫
it
さんは
happened again?
僕が守ってあげます。
Eh?
Oh, that's cute. Okay, that's
Huh?
that's a little more
I
wholesome.
thought for a moment that I had misheard those words. So dependable they were.
猫さんはとても怖がっていますが、本当はそんなに大変なことではないのです。何匹かの犬さんがきっと勘違いしてるだけなのだと思います。
Did she get what I was...
そんなに大変なことじゃないって。
猫さんの心配しすぎなのです。僕がきっと何とかしてあげますですよ。
That scares me.
Rika-chan will do something about it? I don't even know left from right at the moment. So, Rika-chan didn't look... Wait, so Rika-chan didn't look at all that dependable.
ちょっと大変ですけど、頑張りますですよ。ファイト、王なのです。
That's the encouraging Rika that we know and love. She clenched her fist and stuck it in the air. Rika-chan said that the cat would just keep meowing. She said to leave it all to her. Is that really all it took to resolve this whole thing?
本当にリカちゃんで大丈夫なのか？
僕が頑張らないと、犬さんも大変なことになってしまうかもしれないのです。
Huh?
Trying to think of what the symbolism is.
If the quote-unquote dogs we were trying to refer to was everybody who asked us about the Watnagashi festival, aka Mion, Oishi, and eventually Shion, what the fuck is gonna happen to them? She had been talking to me under the assumption that I was aware of certain things.
Oh no!
So at first, I understood her. Around the middle, though, I stopped understanding everything. However,
same.
one thing I did know was to not worry and leave it to her. Rika-chan straightened up again and patted me on the head and smiled. I was so moved by that reassuring feeling that I couldn't help but start to cry.
ごめん。猫さんも本当にちょっとしたいたずらのつもりだったんだ。こんなことになるなんて全然。
猫さんは臆病すぎです。だから見せたくなかったのです。
Oh.
She was right. It was far too shocking for someone to see based on the very little interest alone. That's why I made it so difficult to look at it in the first place, wasn't it?
リカちゃん、その猫さんはどうなるんだろう。忍び込んだ2匹の猫さんがあの晩に。
I heard Tomotuke and Takano-san's deaths were being kept secret. Rika-chan might not have known about it.
富武と高野ですか？
Oh, yay, she knows. Oh no, she knows.
We're ending the stream here. No, I'm kidding.
I'm scared.
I...
Happy thoughts, kitties, rainbows, unicorns,
happy thoughts. What are my happy thoughts? Psychopathic,
gay,
edgy,
lesbian,
edgy, murder,
gay.
edgy, murdering lesbians. We're not murdering the lesbians. They are the murderers. They are the edgy, murdering lesbians. They are hot, okay?
Girls.
Girls! But one of those girls kind of knows what we're talking about, so we should probably have process of elimination here.
Teenage girls.
I can't do that.
Actually, neither can
I was gonna say, we're both legal. We can't do that.
Please, girls above 18.
There we go. That's better.
My partner.
There you go.
Help me.
Oh boy. Alright. I gave a start to the sudden mention of actual names. Though it's weird to do that at this point.
忘れると良いのです。
Uh-oh.
My spine, it froze again.
忘れる。
はい。あの二人のことを思い出すことは、圭一にとって良くないことなのです。考えれば考えるほど怖くなるだけです。
I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna get some food because I'm getting hungry and I'm also getting scared.
Oh no.
So,
Fear food.
I'll be
What if
right
she
back.
knew them? What if she had something to do with their murder?
You see, here's the thing. I'm not gonna say anything due to potential spoilers, but I've seen bits of Higurashi Soto or whatever it's called, which is like the second season part of Higurashi Go, the 2020 remake. I have my theories, is all I'm saying. That's all I'm gonna say. I have my theories.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'll be right back.
Okay.
Alright, I'm back.
Oh, welcome back.
Oh boy. So what I had was like a barbecue sandwich, and that shit has some spices to it.
Mm.
It's a little hot, so I barely have much water left. Anyways, where were we? Oh,
This
right.
child was scaring us.
だから早く忘れた方がいいのです。
And now she's scaring us even more. We just got back. She said something so enormously. Sorry, I was swallowing.
That's right.
I was so enormously terrifying without letting that smile on her face waver at all.
どこで聞いたかわかりませんが、綺麗さっぱりお風呂でゴシゴシするみたいに忘れちゃうと良いのですよ。
Weird comparison, but will do.
忘れるって言ったって、リカちゃんは知ってるんだろう。あの二人がどういう死に方を。
Keiichi, don't shout this shit. God damn it. First you did it in the library, now we're here.
どんな死に方をしても、それはケイイチとは関係のないことなのです。
Has nothing to do with me. I was with them.
Squeeze me?
I was with them.
Hey, excuse me?
Rika declared this in a flat voice.
Did they forget the background?
Nothing to do with me. So forget about it. The girl before me, she was innocent and lovable. Even seemed trustworthy. But suddenly, she took on another dimension. Don't get involved with their deaths. I'll help you, Keiichi. Those two contradictory statements twisted and distorted my image of the girl in front of me.
シオンはあいつはどうなるんだ。
It might have been dangerous to mention Shion's name, but I couldn't stop myself from asking. Rika-chan saw through everything anyway. There was no way I was going to fool her into keeping anything from her at this point.
姉妹猫の妹ですか？
Wait, sister cats?
にゃーにゃー。
Wait, why'd you say it like that? You almost said it like...
Oh.
Why are you saying that like you're trying to get me uninvolved and get other involved?
そうだ、妹猫だ。
Rika-chan appeared to think upon this for a moment. It was hard for me to endure this It was hard for me to endure even this momentary silence. God damn, sorry. You know what I mean.
怒ってます。
The big sister cat is angry.
Uh-oh.
I don't
Couldn't
like
be
that.
from what he did a few days ago.
I mean, so far we haven't seen pissed off Mion yet, but I did in my last stream, so.
妹猫が悪いことをしたので、とても怒ってます。
姉猫って。
That could only mean Mion. I recall being questioned by her yesterday.
ケイチ、姉猫はとても機嫌が悪いです。
No shit. I mean, she was already pissy enough before the Watnagashi festival. Now look at all this.
しばらくの間、そっとしてあげてほしいなのです。
Rika, why do you seem so informative on this? I get you're part of one of the three families, but even this much information? Did Mion do I'm thinking too far ahead. Not in a good mood. Those words sent a shiver through me. Mion was mad. She was mad that we entered in the ritual storehouse.
今日から部活はなしにしましょう。
From now on? No! I love the club activities! Wacky things happen!
なんでだよ。
そっとしてあげてほしいからなのです。
Rika-chan ended her sentence with such force that I couldn't say anything in response. Hey Keiichi, my brother, don't disobey Rika-chan now. She's the only one who said that she'll help me right now. I'll leave things to her, just as she said to. I mean, she even said that the cat should just keep meowing. I'll forget everything, like she said.
Uh-oh.
I'll leave everything to her. I'll forget
I'm
everything
scared.
about Takano-san and Tomotsuke-san. And what I did that very night.
How are you supposed to forget? Oh.
Just then we heard a bell far away, marking the end of our lunch break.
じゃあ
Why?
校舎に戻ろうか。
ケイチ、
As if she had noticed how miserable I was, about to leave everything to her and flee the scene, Rika-chan called out to stop me.
勘違いの犬さんが猫さんに噛みつこうとしたら知らせてくださいね。
The misunderstanding dog. She put it in such a cute-sounding way, but the true meaning behind those words was an eerie one.
勘違いの犬さんってなんだ。
村長を噛んだ犬さんです。
Oh no!
どうして村長を噛んだのか。僕、噛むなら、いたずら猫さんを先に噛むはずなのにです。
It would have been the trickster cat. The flow of blood in my body felt like it completely stopped for a moment.
This game has a lot of ways to say that I'm
People are
freaking
fucked.
scared.
Like, Chapter 1 did an amazing job setting atmosphere, and this chapter is killing it. Holy shit. Like, it's doing even better than Chapter 1, and I'm all for it. Because now I got multiple people to worry about instead of just Reina and Mion. And, of course, the other people that were at the construction site trying to kill me. But that was around the end, and they didn't see much, though. That doesn't count.
Yeah.
Regardless, I have my eyes on multiple people. Hell, I have my eyes on Satsuko, too, and she hasn't done anything. Hell, Reina was doing stuff before the crazy shit even started. Rika-chan had admitted it. The sacrifices of that terrible calamity, she admitted that if they were to happen again, it would be Shion or I. This, I didn't know what was true about this girl standing in front of me. My suspicion gave way to fear, nearly began to change into anger. Was she a savior who would protect me? Or a stranger trying to capture and kill me for the sake of a horrible tradition? I had no idea what was true.
ごめんなさいなのです。猫さんが怖がっているのに、また怖がるようなことを言ってしまいました。ごめんなさいなのです。
You say that with that face. Rika-chan bowed so quickly that it looked like her head had been pulled downward. Still, she was right. I was cowering. I could distinctly feel my body shaking violently. So when Rika-chan rushed her head over to pat my head, I pulled away without thinking.
ごめん。
Rika-chan made a sad face, but I couldn't bring myself to put my head out for her again. That day, Rika-chan said she wasn't feeling up to club activities, so she suggested that we didn't bother. There's always vetoes when someone doesn't feel up for it. Reina and the others seemed really disappointed. Wait, Reina and the big sister cat is not in a good mood. I remember Rika-chan's words, and quietly stole a glance at Mion's expression. If I could forget the way she questioned me yesterday, though, her behavior was the same as always. There's just like a frame where the light disappears for a second. I would piss screaming. What's next? Bring it the fuck on. Never mind, we're home. After dinner, without the energy to watch TV, I climbed into my futon in my bedroom and let my head be overtaken by the gloomy thoughts. I told Rika-chan everything and anything. She had seemed trustworthy at the time, but had that really been the right choice? The more I look back on it, the less I understood what Rika-chan was saying. God, I felt this on like other situations I've been in the past. Not only did she know about Takano and Tomotake's deaths, but she spoke of them as if they were considered a concerned party. After all this time in my futon, I began to tremble fiercely. I had been lured in by Rika's sweet smile and told her things I shouldn't have? I should have continued to feign ignorance. Or feign ignorance, not feign. There was not a fucking R there.
Good job.
Sorry. The reason I said that is because one of my favorite Yakuza 0 OSTs is literally called Rain. Like, you know, like rain over people, that sort of thing. So I think that's why I included the R there. I was also listening to Rain recently, so...
Heck yeah.
I will fight for my beat. It was a good song, though. It's fucking good. Plays when Majima's breaking through Dojima. It was great.
Oh, heck yeah.
I shouldn't have shown her such a weak side of me. I felt this. My emotions are a mix of regret and fear, and it colored the darkness of the night with an additional layer of terror. Suddenly a knock. I might have yelped. That's how surprised I was.
圭一、さっきから呼んでるぞ。電話だ。園崎さんから。
Which one? Which fucking one? It was Dad. Dad, last time you entered my room when things were happening, you told me that Rena was here.
Oh no.
I don't like remembering things from chapter 1, Dad. When does your sprite show up? I reached out for the cordless phone in the gap on my door.
園崎さんってどっち？姉？妹？
そんなのは知らん。自分で出て聞きなさい。
Gee,
Oh, no.
thanks, Dad. That's like...
Thank you, Dad.
You're gonna go swimming with sharks. What kind of sharks? Hammerhead or great whites? Jump in and find
Figure
out.
it out.
Jump in and find out. Well, here goes nothing. I took the receiver and buried myself in my futon again.
もしもし、ミオンか？シオンか？
私です。シオンです。
Let's apologize, Keiichi.
こんばんは。
Just apologize. Please.
I practically jumped out of my bed. It was Shion, or who I hoped so desperately would, or who I hoped was so desperate. The point is, I wanted her to call me back. Jesus fuck, God.
My God.
シオ
Ashley.
ン！ゆうべはすまなかった。つい興奮して。
I heard what sounded like a deep sigh from the other.
俺もシオンも同じ立場なんだよな。一方的に責めるような言い方をして悪かった。もうしない。謝るから機嫌を直してくれ。
機嫌を直したから電話したんです。後悔したなら許してあげますから。もう謝るのをやめてください。
Okay, at least she's understanding. Shion's tone still sounded a little angry, but for the moment, she said she'd forgive me.
ケイちゃんの言うように、私たちは運命共同体なんです。互いの無事の確認が自分たちの安全の唯一の保証なんです。
Well, do we still know if we're going to be fucked? I mean, they still haven't found the mayor yet, right?
ああ、それについては同感だ。
だから、私たちは互いの知っている情報を共有する必要があります。高野さんたちみたいな死に方をしないために。
I don't think dying is our concern here, to be honest. Ugh. I forced myself to swallow a solid drop of
で
saliva.
は、昨日の続きを話します。もう怒らないで聞いてくれますよね。
ああ、大丈夫だ。
まず、
Okay. So basically, unlike in chapter 1, where Oishi is usually the one calling us due to him being a police officer and all that shit, looks like we're having most of our calls with Shion. Oh boy, this ought to be fun. This ought to be real fun. I'm looking forward to it. Great!
私たちが思っている以上に、最後殿に忍び込んだことは禁忌、タブーだったみたいです。
Takano-san and Tomosuke-san's miserable ends. Terrible enough that you could call them a warning. They were more than enough to make me believe that.
犯人たちは最後殿を怪我した首謀格のあの二人を殺し、次に私たちを狙います。否定したいでしょうが、これを認めてください。失踪してから認めてももう遅いんですよ。
分かってるって。用心に越したことはないからな。
私も本当は認めたくありません。あんな拷問道具の博覧会を覗き見したことがあんな殺され方をする理由になるなんて
Or the potential chance
絶
of
対に信
being
じたくない。
thrown down into the bottomless swamp. whichever comes first. That's what a taboo is.
Yeah.
For those who honor it, if one breaks a taboo, no matter how small or innocent their intentions were, they wouldn't be forgiven.
互いに何か気になることがあったら報告し合いましょう。互いの持つ小さな断片を合わせていけば、ひょっとすると高野さんたちを殺した、いえ、今年の事件に限らない、過去の連続事件を解決する鍵が見つかるかもしれません。
そうだな。確かにそうだ。
All I was doing was waiting in fear, but Shion had already thought that far ahead. Given how trustworthy she felt, I became embarrassed as to how passive I was being.
では、まずは言い出した私からいきます。最近、誰かに監視されているような気がします。
Interesting.
Okay. A lot of people would want to deduct saying that it's Mion because they don't live together. That's where I call bullshit. What if that's fucking Mion? Oh god. What if it's someone worse than Mion? Oh wait, I can't think of anybody.
Oh.
I just love how you're just like, oh shit, Ash is thinking ahead. I don't know anyone worse than Mion. Then you're just like, and there it goes. Like, that's just everyone just like, oh, Ash is being smart. I have no idea what I'm doing. And there goes her intelligence once again.
と言っても気のせいかもしれません。でも一応報告します。今は気のせいだと思っていますけど、もしもケイちゃんも同じように誰かに監視されているように感じるなら、これは気のせいじゃないのかもしれませんから。
I mean, it's never once crossed my mind.
そういうことなら安心しろ。少なくとも俺の方は大丈夫だ。
He's fine. I just used the water bottle, good.
Thank you. I took like the biggest sip ever. I'm like, thank you. I think. As I spoke with Shion, I thought back on today. I had no grounds to say that everything was
そうです
fine.
か。では気のせいということにしますが、ケイちゃんも注意してください。
Great. Now Keiichi's gonna be paranoid and think that someone's watching him every 2 seconds.
特に一人で表を歩くときは細心の注意を払ってください。私は沖宮ですから、一人きりになることはそうそうありませんが、一人ぼっちになることも多いはずです。
Actually, cut her off.
特に注意してください。
Nice.
そうだな。ああ、気をつけるよ。
それからお姉なんですが、何か変わった様子はありませんか？
Where do I fucking begin, to be honest? I mean, where should I begin?
お姉ってミオンのことか？
Keiichi, don't tell me you still think they're the same person. Did you really just...
変わった様子ってどういうことだ？
先日私お姉に綿流しの夜の所在について問いただされました。
それは俺もだよ。一昨日かな、ミオンに聞かれた。
やっぱりですか。私は言ってないと答えました。ケイちゃんは？
同じだよ。ごまかした。
Both of us gave a quiet sigh of relief.
綿流しの晩以降、お姉の様子はおかしいです。
Okay, so Mion is definitely the most likely suspected target to potentially try to kill us. Or do something worse. And I've seen clips of the anime, so I think you know where some of my predictions are going.
Yeah.
But I also feel probably not, because they mentioned Satoshi's existence and some other things, so probably not. But, you know, my predictions are still my predictions. I don't know how faithful the original anime was to the visual novels, but I still place my foot where I stand.
用心に越したことはありませんので、注意してくださいね。
Mion was acting strangely. Aside from her asking me about the night of the Watnagashi, she didn't seem too out of the ordinary, at least not from my point of view. Her twin sister, though, was the one saying that she was acting weird. Well, I guess they are sisters, so they would probably know each other better than anyone else. But I don't know how much they hang out, so I don't know how much really changed. Maybe it was a slight change that a stranger like me wouldn't be able to notice.
わかった。少し用心するよ。帰り道は必ずレナも一緒だから、二人きりになるってこともそうそうないしな。
Yeah, and we know Reina's got some good martial arts skills that it's actually kind of terrifying that they show him off before the crazy shit.
Yeah.
It treats him like it's some normal thing. It's just like, oh yeah, that's normal for her. And I'm just sitting back like, dude, those punches were flying like bullets. What do you mean that's normal? Crazy as fuck. Crazy as fuck, I say.
用心してください。
Okay.
気になることがあったら教えてくださいね。
わかった。
では、ケイちゃんの方では何か私に話すことはありませんか？
My turn. That's right. Maybe I should report on Oishi-san asking me the same question at the library.
あ、ケイちゃんが逃げ遅れたあの時の話ですね。
ああ、大石さんにかなり強い口調で聞かれたよ。
I think pretty forcefully is quite the understatement, Keiichi. I mean, I genuinely thought he was gonna rip your shoulders off.
あの晩、高野さんたちと一緒にいなかったか、シオンに会わなかったかって。大石さんは俺たちが4人一緒にいたところを見ていたようだった。
警察にしてみれば、高野さんたちが最後に会った人間ということになりますからね。私たちに興味を持つのは、ある意味当然でしょうね。
Okay, I'm having a theory now. Because Mion does not seem to be a fan of police or anyone who is affiliated with the police. So, what if Oishi was acting the way he did because he was worried about Keiichi and didn't want anything to potentially happen to him? And that's why he was so serious. I'm not saying that is the reason, but it's a potential theory. Because so far, Oishi has never shown any ill intent. Like, yeah, he has a interesting roundabout way of doing things, but he never means any ill intent.
Yeah.
And from what I've seen so far, especially in chapter 2, he seems like an overall nice guy. He's just a little misunderstood around some edges. But what do I know? That could easily change. I mean, Rika, of all people, is the one who scared the shit out of us. Fucking Rika! She was the last person I was expecting. Regardless.
こっちもごまかしたけど、かえって興味を持たれたかもしれない。
There's no way I could have tricked that sly old fox Oishi-san. My troubled countenance.
Hang on, wait.
Oh no, there's not even an R.
Countenance?
What's that even mean?
I don't know.
I just imagine just a like animatic just like image just of you and me looking at the dictionary, just like, what the fuck does this even mean?
Just looking at the script, then flipping through the dictionary.
My character takes off her bandana to try to see more, even though she's blind in the other eye. Just like, will this help? Anyways, it would have only made him more certain.
なあ、シオン、警察なら行っちゃってもいいんじゃないのか？むしろ俺たちの状況を思えば、警察を味方につけるのはプラスだと思うぞ。
Keiichi, this is the same group of people who literally do not report on the deaths that happened during the Watanagashi. Why would I mean, even if my theory is correct and Oishi's trying to help us, why do you think that would be a good idea? They probably won't even say anything about it. At least not publicly to us. Shion didn't answer right away. For a few moments, I could tell that her breathing... Wait. All I could hear was her breathing as she thought about it.
そういえば大石さんはミオンに何らかの嫌疑があるなんて言ってたような気がする。
I heard Bailey at my fucking door and it scared the shit out of me. She fucking breathed at my door and I fucking jumped. Like, I actually, like, fucking jolted back because I was like, oh shit. I didn't like that. I didn't like that at all.
うん。確かにそう言ってた。
昨日も話しました通り、園崎家はひなみ沢に強い影響力を持っています。
Right.
大石は一連の連続開始事件を園崎本家が中心になった村ぐるみの犯行だと疑っていますから。
To be fair, I don't blame Oishi for thinking that, so that's not too surprising to me.
園崎家が中心になった村ぐるみの犯行？
please, don't get angry like you did yesterday. Just listen. I hammered that home before I got too upset.
ひなみ沢のダム闘争の時、リーダーシップを期待された神主があまりに日和見だったので、園崎本家が首謀閣になって決起したんです。戦いの歴史についてはお姉から聞いてますよね。
She told me very silly things about it.
Very silly.
That also partially wasn't sarcastic. Like, she actually said it in, like, the most silliest fucking manner. Everything was going down! Like, that sort of thing. You know how kids are when they overreact things? That seems all like a dream now. What's next? Chapter 3? Keiichi's gonna be like, what's the what, Nagashi? And I'm like, fuck! Even if he dies in Chapter 2, which I don't even know if he'll die in Chapter 2, because he did in 1. But I don't know if he'll die here. I guess we'll have to wait and see.
ひなみ沢全体で一丸となって戦ったんだろう。デモをしたり、裁判に訴えたり、テレビに出たり。
実際はもっともっと過激なこともたくさん行われたんです。園崎本家が水面下で様々な違法な抵抗活動を行ったと言われてます。
Well, Keiichi did make the idea that they were under a crime syndicate, if that counts for anything.
違法な抵抗活動？
例えば、夜中に建設現場に忍び込み、機材を盗んだり、壊したり、建設重機のガソリンタンクに核砂糖を入れたりとか。
Okay, maybe it's because I'm just not smart, but what the hell would that do? Does that, like, ruin the gas, or does that do anything to tamper with it?
ガソリンタンクに砂糖？なんでそんなことを？
知らないんですか？戦争中にフランスの地下組織なんかがやった典型的なゲリラ活動ですよ。
Oh!
Interesting.
Oh!
砂糖を入れるとエンジンが焦げついて壊れちゃうんですよ。
Oh! I thought she was gonna tell me that they made fucking napalm. I'm not gonna lie. That's pretty bad though, isn't it? It was destruction of property and nothing less.
建設現場への監視が強化されると、今度は工事の重要な立場にある人間への攻撃に変更されました。例えば、工事を認可した役人たちには様々な脅迫が行われました。それは県庁の役人だけでなく、建設省の偉い役人にまで及んだそうです。
Oh, that's fun.
聞いた話では、子供の誘拐までやったとか。
Jordan, remember when I said I had my theories of what could potentially happen, especially with the you-know-what clips I've seen of the anime? Why do I gotta
Oh
feel
no,
it?
all I know is the fingernails.
Let's just say... Oh no, what if I'm right?
I'm scared.
誘拐？
What if you're right? I'm actually scared.
Oh, if I am... I'm going to hell, first of all.
I'm actually scared.
Oh god.
Because I don't know what's gonna happen.
ええ。建設省のひなみ沢ダムを担当する偉い人の子供が神隠しにあったんですよ。
Oh shit.
で、ある日突然、ひなみ沢のもっと上流の高津戸の山中で保護されまして、犯行声明はなかったって言われてるんですけど、ダム工事を中止するようにとの脅迫があったのではないかと囁かれています。他にも枚挙にいとまがないほどの脅迫の話があります。
それは確かにちょっとやばいな。
Sort of?
Sort of.
そんな最中だったんですよ。第一の事件。現場監督のバラバラ殺人があったのは。園崎家が主犯格の男を買収したのではと囁かれてますが、何しろ今日も逃走中ですからね。
When she put it that way, the Sonozaki family definitely seems suspicious.
犯人も口封じで消したんじゃないかって大石は思ってるみたいです。当然ですね。身内である私ですら、園崎本家の暗躍があったのではないかと思ってるくらいですから。
それを俺に信じろってのか？ ミオンの園崎本家がそんな悪いことをやってきたと信じろというのか？
ケイちゃんが信じなくても村人たちは信じてます。自分たちが綺麗な抵抗運動をする陰で園崎家が汚い抵抗運動をする。
Yeah, that's true. Even if it's for the sake of good, doing dirty deeds for it, it's not exactly too sightful. But it's interesting, and that's why I like anti-heroes, and that's why my character is one. I think it's super cool.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, morals with Ash. I think anti-heroes are great, and they do good things. Ah, fuck.
No, because I accidentally dropped something.
Oh, and that was even more good timing.
自分たちの矢面に立って戦ってくれたんだってみんな思ってます。ですからちょっとしたダークヒーローとして崇められているんですよね。私が知っているのは
What are you dropping?
本当に一部だけだと思います。
Everything.
Can you...
Children.
Oh. I see.
No, don't stain my... No! Actually, I'm screwing everything up.
Yeah, you're dropping children.
No, stay. Be a good straw. Thank you.
Let me know when you're good, okay?
Okay, fine.
Alright.
例えば誘拐なんかの特にヤバい話は
Everything is
当
not
社
fine.
のバッチャを含めほんの数人しか知らされてないと思います。
Grandma! Oh no! It's Grandma!
園崎家は秘密主義ですから。
秘密主義か。
The family's so unforthcoming that even Shion, who was related to them, doesn't know everything about them. The Sonozaki family, unlike Shion, her older twin Mion, was deeply involved with everything, and that was not a fun thought to entertain.
そういった違法な抵抗運動の中心として年少ながら活躍したのがお姉でした。
I hate it when they have the black background with just their bright, colorful sprites in front of me.
ミオンがどういうことだよ。
うちのお父さんヤクザの大物ですから。
You know, I was actually about to call that there was some Yakuza involved, but I thought it was just me being dumb. But it looks like I was right.
年少のお姉でも若い柄の悪いのを何人も従えることができました。で、様々な嫌がらせや妨害をやってのけたんです。
ミオンが
I mean, it sounds about right, but it doesn't make it any less, you know.
今はなんだかのんびりした雰囲気だから想像もつかないでしょうが、器物破損から脅迫、暴行まで一通りこなして何度も補導されたんですよ。
What the fuck?
子供ですからすぐに釈放してもらえたみたいですけどね。お姉は自分の年齢が武器になることを知ってたみたいです。
Her age could be used as a weapon.
Oh.
It may have been indiscreet, but I couldn't help but chuckle dryly. She may have been young, but she was certainly still Mion. Even back then, she had already been known for her craftiness.
笑い事じゃないです。真剣になってください。
悪い。そんなつもりじゃ。
Shion had gotten pretty angry at
ま
me.
あ、そんな不良娘だったお姉もいつの間にか園崎本家の重鎮。大石がバラバラ殺人以降の事件を疑いたくなるのもまあ無理ないことです。
For a few moments, I was dumbstruck at the tales of Mion's past. None of them matched the images I had of her. A younger Mion, dirtying her hands with all sorts of crimes, giving the damn construction project hell. As the successor to the Sonozaki family, she was always right at the center of the vortex of strange incidents recurring year after year. Was that really the Mion I knew? Maybe the one I know isn't the real Mion. Oh god, here we go again with the whole are they real or not.
Uh-oh.
I couldn't figure it out. I couldn't bring myself to accept these images of Mion that I was hearing from another person.
まあ話を戻します。お姉が注意に値する存在であることは理解してもらえたと思います。
No shit.
注意してくださ
Yeah,
い。
no crap, Sherlock.
didn't want to understand. Mion was a fantastic friend. She would never do something to back me into a corner like that she just did the other day. What the fuck are you talking about, Kate?
Bro.
She did ask me pretty harshly last night about the festival, but even that, it wasn't like she said it in a mean way or anything. I mean, that is true. She just looked fucking pissed.
わかった。気をつけるようにするよ。
私とお姉は血のつながった姉妹ですが、園崎家にあってはまるで格が違うんです。私とはとても遠い存在だということを認識してください。お願いします。
The more Shion tells me about Mion, the less I understand who Mion even is. The Mion I know wasn't a dangerous person. She joked around, smiled a lot, and was full of passion. Now that I realize I held such a view towards her, Shion's telling me to just change it. To be careful around the best friend ever. To doubt her. The idea was very sad and painful.
で、大石の件ですが、
Oh shit, we're not done? Cool.
ケイちゃんがいいと判断するなら、必要な情報を与えてもいいと思います。
Oh. Well then, okay, sure, he is pleased.
やはり警察を味方につけるのは私たちに有利に働くと思います。
Okay.
やっぱりシオンもそう思うか。
ただ、今説明した通り、園崎の人間はそもそも警察に睨まれているんです。特に大石は、園崎家が丸ごと連続事件の黒幕だと決めてかかってますからね。それはもちろん私も含めてです。ですから、私はあまり大石には関わりたくないんです。
I see. If Oishi had found out about the Sonozaki family's strife-filled history, then he probably wouldn't be very happy with Shion either. At least I understood Mion's instinctive dislike for Oishi-san. Or sorry, at last.
どうせバレてはいるんですが、一応私の名前を伏せておいてください。それだけ守ってくれれば、大石には何を話しても問題ないと思います。
わかった。伏せるようにするよ。
警察の捜査力は今の私たちにはとても心強い武器になると思います。大石が興味深い話をしたら私にも聞かせてくださいね。
ああ、もちろんだ。情報は互いに交換し研究し合おう。高野さんたちを殺したのは誰なのか、そして俺たちを狙うのは誰なのか、それが分かるまで俺たちは自衛しなくてはならない。
あとはありますか？大石に聞かれたこと以外は、身に起こったことはどんな些細なことでも教えてください。
Aside from my discussion with Oishi-san? Rika?
I was about to say.
Oh. Should I tell her that I revealed everything to Rika-chan?
Uh-oh.
Right. It was one thing that we talked to Rika, but we also kinda spilled the tea on the whole situation. Ooh. That all just came back to me.
Yeah, a bit.
Rika was acting like she knew something I didn't. She told me to leave it to her, but what? Ah, that's right. When I was talking to her, I mentioned Shion's name too. Was that a mistake? I felt like Shion would get angry.
何もないんですか？ケイちゃん？
I had remained quiet for a while, so Shion encouraged me to speak, unable to bear the silence. As I struggled what to say, Shion addressed me instead.
ないようでしたら私から聞きたいんですけど、私もついさっき聞いたんですが、君吉のおじいちゃんが行方不明になったって本当ですか？
The old man Kimiyoshi. My gut told me that was the name of the mayor.
村長さんのことか？なんだシオン、聞いてないのか？
何も知らないです。お父さんが電話でそう話してるの、また盗み聞いただけですから。
I realized I shouldn't have said that. Here in Hinamazawa, the things that happened around this time when Oyashiro-sama's curse would occur would all be covered up.
ああ、実はな、昨べ会合の後、家に帰ってこないとかでひなみ沢中で大騒ぎになったんだ。村中で探したみたいだけど、まだ見つかったって話は聞かないな。警察も探してるはずなんだけど。なんで
そんな大事な話を先にしてくれなかったんですか？
I don't like how the chat box temporarily disappeared. It made me think something else happened entirely.
Yeah.
She shouted angrily at me, bringing all of her emotion to bear.
悪い。もう知ってると思ってたんだよ。隠す気なんかなかった。
The receiver was silent. Did Shion get mad again and hang up?
おい、シオン、もしもし。
ケイちゃん、私、どうしよう。
That's a mood change. Shion's tiny, confused voice sounded like it belonged to a different person than the one yelling a few seconds ago.
どうした？話せよ。俺たちの間で隠し事はなしだろ？
Shion hesitated for a long while, but then she
ご
confessed.
めん、隠すつもりはなかったんです。ちょっと言うのが前後したっていうか。
俺たちは仲間だろ。怒ったりしないから正直に話せよ。
Shion still hesitated for a few moments. Then, in a resigned voice, she continued.
私、君吉のおじいちゃんに打ち明けたんです。
I'm sorry.
Is that the reason he's... Shion seemed to think that I would yell at her right after she said that, so I heard her catching her breath. Contrary to what she thought, I was a little relieved. Shion had done the same thing that I had when confessing everything to Rika-chan, so in a gentle voice as I could, as to not set her off, I responded.
君吉のじいさんってのはシオンにとって相談できる心安い人なんだろ？
はい、私のことを小さい頃から本当に可愛がってくれて。
Shion felt the same pain than the rest of us from the mayor's disappearance. She had a different kind of strength from Mion, and as she continued, her voice sounded truly sad and pained.
私、いつも意地悪なことをしてたのに、いつもニコニコと笑って、私の言うことは何でも聞いてくれて、本当に優しい人だったのに。
落ち着けよ、シオン。別に死んでしまったわけじゃないだろ。そんな簡単に諦めるなよ。
Shion didn't answer. Even if I said it myself, I didn't think that we'd ever find the missing mayor again. We probably wouldn't even figure out if he was alive or dead. Shion must have been thinking the same thing.
村長
Give me a
さんに、
second. I need to be really quickly.
Okay.
私、最後でに忍び込んだこと、誰かにそれを見られてて、私たちを狙っている人がいるって。
村長さんは高野さんたちがまともじゃない死に方をしたのを知ってるのか？
はい、知っていました。あの二人がお社様のたたりで死んだから、私はその怒りを鎮める生贄にされるんじゃないかって本当に率直に言いました。
ああ、それで
君吉のおじいちゃん、怒らなかった。そしてにっこり笑って、しおんちゃんがちゃんと反省してるなら鬼隠しになんかなるものかって本当に笑いながら、任せなさい。
Wait. To leave it to... Oh shit, Rika. Until Shion stopped sobbing, I was unable to find any words for her. I couldn't imagine what kind of person the mayor was, nor what Shion's relationship with him was like. Words of comfort, however, mean so much to us when we're about to be crushed by anxiety. Oh fuck. Oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck. Oh, genuine fuck.
Wait, what happened?
So, the long story...
Is the mayor dead?
No, but, well, we don't know yet, but, when Shion told the mayor about everything, he simply smiled and said, "Leave it to me." Doesn't that sound familiar?
Oh no!
That's why I immediately thought of Rika.
Oh no!
Today, Rika-chan taught me that too. If someone who gave me such a sense of security were to disappear, then I could guess what kind of shock Shion was in.
私のせいです。私が打ち明けてしまったから。
よせよ、シオン。シオンのせいじゃないよ。
私のせいなんです。私が打ち 焼けてしまったから。君吉のおじいちゃんが知ってしまったから。だから殺されてしまったに違いないんです。だって打ち明けてすぐなんですよ。打ち明けて大丈夫って言ってくれたその晩に消えてしまった。
He found out. So he became involved.
話すんじゃなかった。これは全部私たち4人の咎だったはず。他人に話してはいけないことだったんです。話したから殺されてしまった。だから殺されてしまった。打ち明けたから殺されてしまった。
おい待てよ。そんなやつなら打ち明けた村長を殺す前にお前から先に殺すに決まってるじゃないか。順番が違うよ。殺されるなら俺かシオンが先。他の奴らが先に死んだりするものか。
順番はあります。私たちを一番最後に殺すつもりに違いないんです。
は？なんだって？
人思いに殺さないで親しい人たちから順々に殺していって散々悲しい思いをさせた後に殺す、そういう狙いに違いないんです。
落ち着けって。シオンは今ショックを受けてパニックを起こしてるだけなんだよ。村長の失踪はシオンとは関係ない。無関係だ。高野さんたちの死とも全く関係ないんだ。
My words came out as a scream, as if I were shouting them at myself.
関係あります。絶対にそうなんです。私が話したから殺されてしまった。だから殺されてしまった。打ち明けたから殺されてしまった。
She repeated the same thing as before, as though she were in delirium. Despite me trying to console her, for some reason, the shadow at my feet began to freeze. From that shadow, a cold arm reached out, so cold that it seemed like it would freeze even my heart just by touching me, and grabbed my ankle. The heat generated from my body, the arm was absorbing it. It was a horrible chill, a freezing cold, numbingly frigid. It was... Oh my god, it was a chill of fear. Poggers. Though I sympathized with Shion, I had been naive of thinking that it was something only she had to worry about. In my head, Shion's eerie words repeated again and again. He was killed because I told him. He was killed because he found out. I confessed everything, so he was killed. Those words echoed through my head like a monotone mantra, and finally, those even repetition, whatever the fucking word, doesn't matter, took on a meaning.
Repetitions.
Yes. The quiet shaking that had already taken over me turned into a violent shiver that shot up my spine.
リカちゃんだ。
今なんて言ったんですか？
俺も実は打ち明けたんだ。リカちゃんに今日。
リカちゃんってリカちゃまのことですか？フルデ神社のリカちゃま？
そうだよ、リカちゃんだよ。俺もどうしようもなく不安で打ち明けたんだ、リカちゃんに。
そうしたらリカちゃまはなんて？
The cat is worrying too much. I'll do something about it for sure. That's what Rika said, and then she smiled. She smiled, just like the missing mayor had when he encouraged Shion.
ごめん、シオン。
Oh.
俺、ちょっとリカちゃんのことが心配になっちゃって。
はい、そんなに心配でしたらぜひ電話を。安否を確認してみてください。
ああ、そうさせてもらう。
また明日もこのくらいの時間に連絡します。それをもって私の安否確認としてください。
わかった、待ってる。じゃあな。すまん、切るぞ。
I put down the receiver without waiting for Shion to say goodbye. The danger to Shion and myself was secondary at this point. My sixth sense was blaring alarms in my head. I don't like this feeling. It's really bad. It's definitely bad.
くそ、無事でいてくれ、リカちゃん。
Fuck my life, bro.
Uh,
Are we gonna rush to her? We better go rush to her. Oh god. Don't show me the tip screen. No! No!
I am in pain.
Oh, you too, huh? From Scrapbook 8. Okay. Let's do this. The three families in the modern times. As previously described, the Three Families Council today is a mere shell of Okay.
Oh no.
I'm sorry. I know how to say the word. It just caught me off guard. I'm
Democracy?
sorry. Yeah. It just caught me off guard was all. I wasn't expecting that. In reality, it was a dictatorship run by the Sonozaki family. Both the Kimiyoshi and Furude families are far from their former glory, and it doesn't seem like all that they maintain the ancient, you know. Only the Sonozaki family has retained their glory from the past and has inherited many colorful traditions from the age known as Anabaguchi Village. Even the most recent verifiable example of Watnagashi that occurred at the end of the Meiji era seems to have been done under the orders of the Sonozaki family. Refer to the Three Families genealogical tree from the late Meiji.
Genealogical?
It's a word. It exists, I guess. After the start of the Meiji era, the Sonozaki family wanted to push development of Hinamizawa village. So they took a strong role in leadership. Yeah. I mean, well, technically the poll could have a flag, be morale. But anyway, during the Dam Wars a few years ago, the Kimiyoshi family served as a chair of the opposition alliance. But this was in name only. In actuality, the Sonozaki family reigned as the leader behind the scenes. People whisper that perhaps the Kimiyoshi family detected acts of opposition that would be publicized.
Publicized, yes, you're right.
I just hate that word. Just say bring out to the public, goddamn. And the Sonozaki family enacted those which could not. Even in Hinamizawa, they whispered that the multitude of unsettling incidents reported the dam protests, such as the kidnapping of a famous head of the Miss. Thanks for reminding me of the kidnapping. Had been carried out by the Sonozakis. Oh, cool. Additionally, they say that perhaps the Sonozaki family's secret maneuvering was responsible for the serial freak death incidents that have continuously occurred in the years as well. The serial freak death incidents were without a doubt second coming of the traditional Watnagashi. They must be enacting the Watnagashi on the day of the original Watnagashi, which had fallen to the level of an ordinary village festival, in order to remind the villagers of the holy laws of the Onagabuchi village. I was going to say forest. It's safe to assert that exploring the Sonozaki family is the fastest route for researching it today. If I could expose the context of the Furude Shrine's storehouse, I'd like to narrow my research target to the Sonozaki family next. Takano, what were you up to? The Sonozaki house is strictly guarded by security cameras on the premises, but thankfully, I've been acquainted with the sisters Mion and the next hair, Mion the next hair, and Shion. I want this to be a breakthrough I can connect to my next line of research. Can't really do that when you're dead, huh?
Yeah.
Not to mention burned alive.
They do that.
They do that. They die. They do that. Alright, their punishment isn't over.
いえいえ、気にしないでくださいよ。この店でおでんを食べるとですね、 なぜか年計のガソリンスタンドの請求書に化けちゃうんですよ。だから遠慮しないでもう一杯飲んでいけばいいのに。
The man, red-faced, waved his hand to say that he had enough and disappeared into the brilliant neon lights in front of the station.
クマちゃんも勉強しといてくださいよ。謙虚な人が結局一番長生きするんです。
さっきの話、本当っすかね？
さて、それはわからないですけどね。真偽はともかく、そういう話がまことしやかに流れてるってことには意味があると思いますよ。
そんなのが村長を狙う動機になりうるんすかね？
クマちゃん、いつも言ってるでしょ。動機っていうのはその本人に十分でありさえすれば足りるんです。価値観の違いをよく考えなくちゃ。あ、お母さん、もう一杯ください。
Where are we? Though we have been suppressing the information, Tomotakei and Takano's sons... I said son on it's instinct at this point. Anyways, their deaths were already known throughout Hinamizawa. All the rumors pointed to them having incurred with the wrath of Oishiro-sama and setting foot into the Forbidden Temple, the storehouse for ritual implements. According to the rumors, there were two other people who went in there with them, Shion Sonozaki and Keiichi Maibara. People were whispering in the shadows that those two would be cursed by Oishiro-sama as well. Apparently, however, the responsibility didn't fall solely on the four trespassers' shoulders. Until last year, it was locked up tight, but this year, it had changed to a simpler lock. Hadn't that been what allowed thieves to enter so easily? Those were the rumors going around.
クマちゃんは見たことありませんか？私はずいぶん前に何かのようで行った時に見たことをよく覚えてますよ。
すみません、ちょっと思い出せないっす。
そりゃもうおっかないくらいに厳重に施錠してありましてね。まるで大金庫みたいに厳重な蔵だったんですよ。
This year, it was very simple and cheap. It was a very simple and cheap padlock. The lone girl protecting the shrine, Rika Furude, disliked the heavy locks and consulted with the mayor, who had also replaced it with a simpler padlock.
だから村長とフルデリカも同罪ってことなんですか？だとしたら村長に続いてフルデリカもまずいじゃないですか。
その可能性は大ですね。クマちゃん、ひなみ沢を巡回している覆面者に至急連絡。フルデ神社近辺に張り付かしてください。
了解っす。
Jesus Christ.
Seems like I missed a lot.
To say the least, there's theories that Rika's next.
Oh no.
God, chapter 8 was really long. Fuck.
That was the entirety of chapter 8?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Or sorry, well sorry, that's at the end of chapter 8 when I last saved, so technically we're on chapter 10 now.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Dang.
Alright, let's continue a little bit. After hanging up on Shion, I searched for Rika-chan's phone number in my school's contact list. There it is! My fingers trembled with urgency, and I failed multiple times to put in a simple 5-digit number.
Me too, buddy, me too.
ケイチ、こんな時間に電話？夜遅くは先方に失礼だからよしなさい。
今はそれどころじゃないんだよ。
I shouted angrily at my mother, listening to the dial tone. Pick up, come on, pick up! The time was 11 p.m. It certainly wasn't early. It was essentially the middle of the night. Had Rika-chan already gone to bed? Her phone would be ringing constantly, though, so she would be back up for. So would she be back up for me? Rika-chan didn't pick up. She didn't pick up. She didn't pick up. Maybe she just happened to miss it. Maybe her bed was just too far away from the phone. The sound of the phone ringing gets clearer and clearer the longer you go to sleeping. Then, the bathroom? Yeah, she must be taking a bath. If that's the case, then if she heard the phone, she wouldn't be able to pick up. It was a little late to be taking a bath, but it was possible she normally took baths right before going to bed. I'll wait 30 minutes, then try calling again. Even as I was thinking that, I called her house over and over again. I kept calling, over and over again. Again and again. I kept calling her, but she didn't pick up even once. I think I kept trying for about 30 minutes. Yet she isn't picking up. Were my phone calls so persistent that she had gotten scared of picking up the receiver? No, that couldn't possibly be it. There's no point in doing this any longer. The best thing to do would be to go there in person. Where was Rika-chan's house, though? Shit! Never even once asked her where she lived. Her residence was written there in the contact list, but it was an address with mostly numbers. I couldn't tell where it was just by reading it. Isn't there something like a map? Rika Furude. Her last name was Furude. It's a bit of an odd last name, so it might be easy to find. Thinking that, I rummaged around the drawer for the phone book, but could only find things like takeout menus and phone numbers for public establishments. Shit. I tore one thing after another out of the drawer, but I didn't come up with any clues as to where Rika-chan's house was. Calm down, Keiichi, my brother. If you don't know, then just ask. Ask someone who does know.
そうだ。レナなら知ってるに違いない。
I looked up Reina's phone number on the contact list. Reina Ryugu. There she was. Pick up, Reina.
She's not gonna answer either. Watch.
もしもし。
Oh,
I don't know if I should be relieved or scared.
I'm scared.
竜宮です。
It was the voice of a grumpy-sounding man. It must have been Reina's father. I am calling in the middle of the night. I need to be polite.
夜分遅くに申し訳ありません。前原と申しますが、レナさんはいらっしゃいますか？
レイナは風呂に入っていますが。あ、出たかな。レイナ。
Oh, right. Reina's name is actually Reina. It's a long story.
友達から電話だぞ。
Oh, right. Reina Ryugu was her real name. It still said the same way. What do you mean? Keiichi can read text through the phone, I guess. I'd gotten so used to calling her Reina that after hearing her real name just caught me a little off guard.
もしもし、お電話変わりました。
あ、俺だよ。ケイイチだ。夜遅くにすまん。
あれ？ケイイチくん？こんな時間に何かな？
実はリカちゃんの家がどこにあるのか知りたいんだ。
Reina seemed a little appalled that I called her for something like that at this time of hour. However, she spoke her next words seriously, as if she had caught on to how urgent my need was.
うん、いいよ。フルデ神社の境内に集会所があるよね。その裏手に2階建ての倉庫小屋があるのを知ってるかな？そこに住んでるんだよ。
She lives... Ah! I couldn't immediately visualize the place, but as long as I knew that she lived on shrine grounds, I'd just have to take a look around.
わかった。ありがとう。こんな遅くにすまなかったな。親父さんに謝っといてくれ。
そんなのはいいよ、ケイイチくん。それより、どうしてリカちゃんの家を聞くのかな？
Reina asked in an unusually sharp way, halting me before I could hang up the phone. I hesitated for a moment about whether to tell her. She was killed because I told it, or he was killed because I told him.
聞こえてるなら答えてほしいな。どうしてリカちゃんの家の場所をこんな時間に聞きたいのかな？
There's a future school project. It's a pretty funny one. Reina affected her usual tone, but beneath her words lay a certain tension, like she sensed something that was going on. What will you do, Keiichi? Look, I can't read. If it's Reina, Can't I tell her? No! The only reason we're trying to find Rika in the first place is because we told her. And we think that something bad's about to happen. Oh my god. Keiichi, you fucking dunce.
Stupid.
He was killed because he found out. I revealed everything and so he was killed.
ケイチ君、レナは真剣に聞いてるんだけどな。
I know Reina's very serious. That's good. I'm so glad you know how to be serious. Please stop.
答えてほしいよ。
Reina asked me once again in a tone so forceful I couldn't imagine her even using it normally. I was taken aback by her vigor. Reina was Rika-chan's friend too. She had the right to be concerned about Rika-chan's disappearing. If I told Reina, then, even for a moment, I could drive away my horrifying fears. Oh my god, Keiichi, no.
レナ、その理由を聞かれると困るんだが。
Reina's tone was seriousness itself. Just from that tone, I could feel her saying, "No matter what you say, Keiichi-kun, I'll believe you." That subtle sense of security gave me the courage to reveal the truth.
リカちゃんが危ない気がするんだ。
それは虫の知らせかな。それともリカちゃんに危険が迫っている何か確信がある。
I really didn't have time to go back and forth with Reina on this. Still, I think listening to her own calm voice soothed my pointless impatience.
確信はないけど。
Yet, I still hesitated. I had told Rika-chan that we had snuck into the ritual storehouse. The mayor, to whom Shion had confessed before that, had already disappeared. So it was possible that Rika-chan also... I didn't know how to explain it to Reina. While I was tongue-tied, Reina spoke up.
変なこと聞いてごめんね。考えたら確信なんか必要なかった。
Reina laughed a little, seeming a bit absent-minded. I wasn't exactly in the mood to laugh, so this time I was dumbfounded. Reina continued in a cheerful yet still purposeful
友
voice.
達のことが心配になって、それを確かめるのに理由なんかいらないと思う。
Oh, thank God. Thank you, Reina.
仮にリカちゃんが寝てて、それを起こしてしまったとしても、それが理由なら、私たちは誰も怒らないと思うよ。
Reina, thank you.
じゃあ、まずはケイチ君に確認するね。リカちゃんの家に電話はしたんだよね。それでどうしても繋がらないから、家の場所を聞いてきたんだね。
Perhaps.
ああ、10分以上は鳴らし続けたと思う。
Over 30?
ひょっとしたら気づかなくて寝てるだけなのかも。
リカちゃんの家はとても狭いの。だから電話が鳴ったら、たとえ寝ていても気づかないわけはないよ。
Oh, that's settling.
さとこちゃんもいるんだから、2人揃って気づかないわけはない。
Oh, that's even more settling. Satoko is there as well?
Oh no.
So, even if Rika didn't hear shit, Satoko definitely should have.
サトコってリカちゃんと一緒に住んでるのか？
うん、知らなかったの？今はその話は後ね。とにかく電話をそれだけ鳴らして誰も出ないのは絶対におかしいよ。
Yeah, no shit. Reina understood the situation wasn't normal far faster than I could ever imagine her to. It made her seem dependable. However, the fact that Reina had acknowledged that it also meant the best case possibility of it being the result of my own needless fears went out the window.
私も今からすぐにリカちゃんの家に行くね。一緒に行く？なら迎えに行くよ。
わかった。じゃあいつもの待ち合わせ場所で合流しよう。
Now I have a slight fear if we're meeting up with Reina here.
Yes.
私、ケイチ君の家に迎えに行くから。だからお家で待ってていいよ。それからご家族に私と一緒にリカちゃんの家に行ってくるって伝えておいてね。
うちでいいのか？時間のロスのような。
あと、みーちゃんには電話した？
No. No.
みーちゃんはこういう時すっごく頼もしいの。
No, it's a no.
まだなら私から電話しておくね。
Reina, no. The thoughts froze for a moment. Shion had just told me to be careful around Mion during our phone conversation not a little while ago. If the Sonozaki main house was somehow lurking behind the surface of annual freak deaths, then the current heir of the family, Mion, wouldn't be uninvolved. So, wouldn't that mean that she wasn't uninvolved in what happened this year too, with Tomatake and Takano-san, and also for the mayor's disappearance?
じゃあね。すぐに行くからね。待っててね。
That was all Reina said before her hurriedly hanging up. Now wasn't the time to be doubting Mion. I need to make sure Rika-chan is safe. I got changed and grabbed the key to my bike. I figured things would go more smoothly if we met up at the place we usually do before school. Reina wouldn't need to come up all the way to my house. My parents probably would have objected if I told them I was leaving, so I creeped out without a word. The night was unusually warm and disagreeably humid. She said that Rika-chan and Satoko lived together, right? Huh? It wasn't only Rika-chan. Satoko wasn't there either? Realizing that them living together really caused my thoughts to immediately take a turn for the worse. That can't be. Satoko-san she's got nothing to do with any of this. Even if there was a reason for Rika-chan to disappear, there shouldn't be one for Satoko.
Keiichi-kun!
Reina was really fast. She approached me on her bike at amazing speed. Her breath was ragged, painting a clear picture as to how hurriedly she'd been going. Can we just say how quick? I fucking hate that word. God damn.
Oh, Rena! さあ、行こうぜ。
ケイチ君、私、お家で待っててって言ったはずだよ。
Reina's expression was all business. Was she mad? It came out of the blue and I faltered for a moment.
いや、ここで合流した方が早く出発できると思ってさ。
ケイチ君は本当に分かってるの？
What don't I get? Reina shouted, clearly angry. I'd never seen Reina like this before.
分かってるのかって何がだよ。
Reina seemed to know she was scaring me, took a couple deep breaths, and then continued as if, whatever, anyway. Her expression didn't soften at all.
ケイチ君、昨日村長さんがいなくなって村中で大騒ぎになったよね。
ああ。
そんな中で、ケイチ君はリカちゃんとサトコちゃんがいなくなったって言ってるんだよ。
ああ、そういうことになるな。
じゃあ、もっと用心しなくちゃダメだよ。こんな夜中にたった一人でこんなところで突っ立ってるなんて、不用心にも程があるんだから。
Oh. She was just worried was all. For a minute I thought she was about to go all psycho on me. I began to understand where Reina's anger was coming from.
ご家族にはちゃんと私とリカちゃんの家に行くって伝えたよね。万が一私と圭一くんが揃って失踪しちゃうようなことがあっても、いつどの辺でいなくなったのかを残すことができる。
Reina was perfectly level-headed in this emergency situation. Ever since the night of the Watanagashi, every night someone had died and disappeared. On the night itself, Takano-san and Tomatake-san met strange ends. And on the next night, the elder vanished. Now, the next night after that, Rika-chan and Satoko were nowhere to be found. I hadn't been thinking about anyone but myself, but there wasn't enough to say that Hinamizawa was a little weird at the moment. It was, in fact, extremely strange. Reina had even anticipated our own disappearances and had told me to tell my family where I was going. I was embarrassed at my own carelessness, and the need to be embarrassed made me feel afraid of the night.
ごめん、まだ言ってなかった。
うん。じゃあ一緒に言いに行こう。
No, Reina! With Reina beside me, I wheeled back towards my house. No.
No.
The moon seemed strangely high in the sky. The sky was uselessly vast and cold, so that no matter what, it would never seem to me like a dream. This cruel fact had already confronted me. On such a crazy night, Reina had been unimaginably dependable. Hinamizawa
Metamorphosis.
I'm so stupid. I knew what the word was and I still fucking butchered it. I just imagine myself sitting back like that one Sonic Boom face, just, oh no. Enough to make Reina caution me against carelessness was to me the most fearsome thing of all. The moon seemed strangely high tonight. We met up with Mion on the way, and she, of course, was unsure whether to believe me about Rika-chan or Satoko's disappearance.
ケイちゃん、本気で言ってんの？もし冗談だったらかなり怒るよ。
Mion was clearly displeased. If this were a joke, it wasn't funny. I understood how indiscreet my words were. Ever since the day before yesterday, someone had either died or vanished the very night. Rika-chan and Satoko disappearing after all that was something you just couldn't say, or even jest.
みーちゃん、本当に冗談だったなら怒るんじゃなく笑おうよ。だって冗談なんだから。私たちはそれが冗談であることを確かめなくちゃいけない。
そうだね。機嫌の悪そうなことを言ってごめん。
I mean, to be fair, Mion, even if you are behind this, which I kind of have suspicions, you would have all the right to be upset. No one should, like, joke about disappearances, especially if those disappearing are young children. Like, that's fucked.
Yeah.
However, indiscreet a joke might have been, if we learned that our friends were safe, then it would end up being nothing more than a funny story. Having been warned about that by Reina, Mion gave a dry smile, the tension she felt loosening a bit. She mounted her bicycle as well. The three bicycle lights flashed down the pitch-black roads. They were some of the only illumination outside.
ケイちゃんはなぜ急にこんな時間にリカちゃんの家に電話なんかする気になったわけ？
Mion asked me the same thing that I had trouble explaining to Reina.
虫が知らせた。じゃあ、おかしいか。
I couldn't quite tell if it was because it was dark or if I thought that I could see Mion smiling so ambiguously. But I definitely understood that she wasn't convinced though, despite the darkness.
俺さ、うたた寝してる時に悪い夢を見ると、どうしても気になっちゃうんだよ。
ケイチ君はそれでリカちゃんがさらわれる夢を見たわけかな。
いや、もっと漠然とした予感みたいなものだよ。リカちゃんが電話に出てくれたなら、レナやミオにも続けて電話するつもりだったよ。
Lies smoothly babbled out of my mouth, makeshift though they were. I was lying because I thought telling him that I was connected to Shion would be like silently admitting that we had stolen into the ritual storehouse together that night. Mion didn't press me any further. I don't know whether that convinced her, or maybe she figured that's making sure Rika-chan and Satoko were safe would be faster than making issue out of it. I felt relieved and immediately a little guilty. Mion hadn't really been acting any differently the last few days, but I'm still trying to distance myself from her for some reason. It's only because of what I heard from Shion and Oishi-san that she was the successor of some kind of super extravagant gang family. No. Was I trying to force myself to forget? Don't do that, Keiichi Maibara. Wasn't it Mion who was the first to ask you about the night of the Wat Nagashi? In such a harsh tone at that. Have I already forgotten the terror I felt? At the time, Mion looked like someone different from the Mion I knew. When I think about that Mion, then Shion and Oishi-san's descriptions of Mion made a tiny bit more sense. That's it, isn't it? If it wasn't how she acted that day, then I wouldn't be feeling this way towards her now. what on earth was going to happen? Or sorry, what on earth was going on with her back then? I was conveniently thinking only of everything that she had done after that, while disregarding the very first thing, the thing that I should have been looking at the most, wasn't I? Mion was pedaling her bicycle in front of me, and her long hair fluttering in the wind. No matter how long I looked at her back, it never gave me the answers to any of my questions. We went all the way to the stone steps leading up to the shrine's grounds. Of course, we weren't going to want to haul our bikes up there, so we parked them beside the staircase instead.
フルデ神社か。
みんな公園みたいな感覚で勝手に出入りしてるけど、本当はここはフルデ家の立派な私有地なんだよ。
So, the entire shrine is private property. It really makes you feel the passage of time. 10 or 20 years ago, it would have looked exactly the same.
だとすると、フルデ家って結構な旧家なんじゃないのか？代々続いた由緒ある。
うん、ない。おかしいよ。
Reina said something clearly disquieting, so I ran over to her.
どうしたレナ？
リカちゃんとサトコちゃんはいつもここに自転車を止めてるはずなの。ほら、どこにもない。
I took a look around. Indeed, there were no other bicycles aside from the ones that we had taken to get here.
他の場所に止めてる可能性もあるんじゃない？例えば、担いで石段を上がったとか。
女の子には無理だよ、ケイチ君。
Just as she said that, I couldn't imagine Rika-chan and Satoko lugging their bikes all the way up there. We hadn't yet knocked on Rika-chan's door, but reality was already sparking some ideas that they weren't what you'd call good. Maybe they just parked under some trees and we hadn't noticed them. I refused to believe that not being able to find their bikes was proof that they had disappeared.
行こうぜ。家に行った方がはるかに確実だろう。
We all nodded and dashed up the stone steps. We passed through the red arch and came out into the shrine grounds, which was covered in neat gravel. It was quiet here, as though the Watnagashi festival had never happened.
で、リカちゃんたちが住んでいる家ってのはどこにあるんだ？
こっち、ついてきて。
Reina took the lead and sprinted off.
She sounds oddly serious, and I don't like that.
I don't know, it doesn't sound like her psychotic self from Chapter 1, so I think I prefer this over the former.
Yeah, true.
Let's see. She sprinted off, we went towards the assembly hall behind the shrine, and then looped around behind it. Okay, sorry, I just wanted to bring this up. The fucking background work, the background art in this game is just, in these visual novels, it's fucking
so
amazing.
good.
It's so damn good. And like, this is another new one that I've never seen before. It's just so good. In the darkness of the night, we found a small prefab? What the fuck? Two-story shack that looked like a warehouse.
明かり消えてるね。寝てるんじゃない？
ノックしてみよう。
Ran and Mion near to the shack, which didn't really look like a place people would live. They had such a beautiful shrine, so I figured they would just live equally in a beautiful house. It was far from what I had expected.
リカちゃん、サトコちゃん、いる？
Reina shouted towards the second floor. Her voice was restrained at first, but steadily grew louder. No answer. In fact, there wasn't any sort of activity in the house at all.
寝てるのかもしれない。起こしてみよう。
Mion banged on the shutter with both hands, and the loud sounds echoed into our surroundings. They would have at least noticed that much of noise. They would turn on the light in their room and fling open the windows and yell, "What time do you think it is?" That, however, was not happening. There was absolutely no response. Mion stopped slamming her fist on the shutter, and a sudden silence fell over us. The silence aroused terrible thoughts in us. I could feel the blood draining from my face.
鍵かかってる。どこかから中に入れないかな。
Why do I feel we're gonna find something fucking fucked when we go in? Reina showed no signs of stopping. It didn't look like she would admit that they weren't there unless we went inside and saw for ourselves. I mean, honestly, at this point, I don't blame you, Reina. Let's find a way in. That refusal to give in gave me strength.
2階の窓とか鍵をかけ忘れてないかな。俺ちょっと試してみる。
ケイちゃん、はしご。
Mion brought over a ladder that was standing against the house. The footing was a little unstable for me to be climbing it, but Mion held the ladder firmly in place for me. I hadn't climbed too many ladders. My inexperience with them exposed, I climbed up step at a time and tried to open each of the windows on the second floor.
みーちゃん、私念のため本宅の方も見てくるね。
Don't leave me! 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 No! Don't leave me! Don't leave me!
すぐ戻るから。
I'm scared because I'm gonna be working with a hot glue gun.
Once you're done.
Speak of the devil. I'm working with a gun.
Yeah, oops. But yeah, I'm kind of nervous. I'm working with a glue gun and I've never worked with a glue gun before.
Just don't touch the tip, obviously. And you'll
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. You know what? You know my friend JR used to put hot glue on himself and he wouldn't feel a thing.
Really?
Yeah, unless he rubbed it, of course, but as long as he didn't, he literally let it solidify onto his body and just peeled it off.
I'm kind of scared of this thing.
Anyways, Reina darted away. What, a main house?
フルデ家の本当の家だよ。両親が亡くなって以来、ずっと放置してあるそうだけど。
Oh.
あ、そうか。リカちゃんのご両親って亡くなってるんだよな。
At that point, I recalled something else. Wasn't Satoko living here too?
サトコも親なしだよ。親代様のたたりってことで、両親が崖から落っこちて、
Right, that too. Oops, forgot to mention that.
お兄さんだったサトシ君もいなくなっちゃって。
サトシって前に聞いた名前だな。
I remembered.
Give me a second, I need to be over here.
Yeah. He was the one who had disappeared last year because of the curse.
それ以来、サトコはリカちゃんと一緒にこの小屋で暮らしてるんだよ。互いに身寄りのない一人ぼっち同士。助け合ってね。
本宅って言ったか？そっちで暮らした方が楽だろうに。
The curtains were drawn, and I couldn't get a good look and see inside, but two young girls living together seemed like a pretty tough life.
初めはそうしてたみたい。でも、両親を思い出すから辛いって言って。
I had no idea. I feel really bad for them. They were normally so cheerful at school that I never had even realized an atom of this.
リカちゃんもサトコも大変なんだな。
呪われてるんだよ。
え？
Suddenly, Mion said something in such a low voice that it sounded like she was really cursing someone, and I didn't let it slide. Oh, you're gonna act like this when Reina's gone, huh? You motherfucker. I turned around on the ladder to face her and asked again.
ミオン、お前、今、なんて言った？
呪われてるって言ったの。
Mion, still holding onto the ladder, brought her head up to look at me in the eyes. As soon as our eyes met, an absolute zero jolt of electricity surged through my body. Mion's eyes clouded over, within them boiled and bubbled a stew of chaos. They whirled around and around in a raging sea. The bubbles floated to the surface. I had at some point been trapped on this ladder, like being cornered on a dead-end street.
ミオン、お前、なんて顔してんだよ。
I intended to follow up with, "You're going too far with this joke," and give her a forced smile. However, on such uneven footing I was on. The only thing that came out of my mouth was a hoarse groan as I desperately struggled to not let nausea overwhelm me.
王女里子はね、お社様のたたりを一身に受けた呪われた子なの。
Mion answers with a response to something I never asked, as if replying to someone else's
公園
question.
の展望台から転落死したのは両親だけ。あの子をミソッカス扱いしてた冷たい両親だけが死んで、あの子は一人だけ助かった。引き取り先であの子をいじめたおばは、綿流しの夜に異常者に脳みそがぐっちゃぐちゃに飛び散って頭が原形をとどめないくらいにめった打ちにされて殺された。いつもあの子をかばってたサトシ君もあの子の誕生日に突然消えてしまった。あの子をいじめていなかったのに消されてしまった。警察は家出したんだって決めつけたけど、サトシ君は逃げ出すような人じゃなかった。いつも一生懸命、誰の力も借りずにコツコツと一人懸命に努力する人だった。たった一人の妹のために身を粉にして頑張ってたのに消されてしまった。あの子のためにだけに生きていたのに消されてしまった。
Oh my god.
かわいそうなサトシ君。なんて報われないサトシ君。なんて恩知らずなあの子なの。あの子は呪われた子。あの子に近づけばそれが誰でも末路は同じ。たたりで死ぬかたたりで消えるか。あの子に安らぎなんてあるものか。あの子に安らぎなんてあるものか。リカちゃんが消えたのもきっとサトコのせいだよ。違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない違いない
Mion was mumbling words over and over that were no longer coherent. Her shoulders were trembling so hard that I could feel it through the ladder. I almost lost my footing, which made me realize how far away from the ground I really was.
落ち着けよミオ。何のことを言ってるのかわからないよ。
Wasn't sure if she even heard me. Mion rocked back and forth, and that rocking and trembling became even more violent. Help me. The ladder, it's falling. Help me. Help! Just then, I heard the sound of many people running towards us.
おい！ここだ！
I very nearly said help me outright. 4 or 5 adults led by Reina ran over here with flashlights.
ケイチくん、みーちゃん、遅れてごめんね。鍵借りてきたよ。
お、助かったね。
We're not brushing back what you did, you bitch.
どうも窓も戸締まりは完璧らしくてね。困ってた。
When I heard Mion talking like nothing just happened, again, I felt a chill run through me. The person currently holding the ladder in place, it was definitely Mion. It was the real Mion Sonozaki. Then, the person muttering to themselves, just a few seconds ago, who the fuck was that? The person who was mumbling about terrible things like curses, who was that? I jumped down from the ladder, as if running away before Mion turned into the person who wasn't Mion a second time. The adults tried a few different keys on the keyring as they tried to open the big shutter on the first door.
リカちゃんの家はね、もともとは町会の防災倉庫だったの。だからシャッターの鍵を今でも村長さんの家が預かってるの。
今ではリカちゃんとサトコの指定だけど、まあもともとリカちゃんの家の敷地内だし、誰も文句は言わないけどね。
Mion gives me a smile as she said that. I, however, could not return her gaze to her gaze within aghast expression. Mion was acting all too normal now, but that only contrasted all the more sharply with her earlier un-Mion-like creepiness. Bang! Clam! Clatter! 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 Bang! The shutter opened up for the first time in a very long while. Reina located a light switch and wasted no time going inside. I followed her in.
リカちゃん、サトコちゃん、いるなら返事をして。
We climbed the narrow staircase. We had looked at... it looked like nothing like a warehouse. But now that I was inside, I thought I could feel how lived in it was. It was a person's home. Somehow the scent of the two of them filled the place. It was definitely where Rika-chan and Satoko lived. Okay. As much as I would love to continue forth, I think this is where I'll end it for now. Because holy shit, we are getting some funky fucking places with this. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream here. Almost went on for 4 hours, Jesus Christ. Longest I've done Higurashi in a bit. We'll have to continue reading this because it's getting really good now. Oh hey, I was just about to hop off and end the stream.
Okay.
You also,
I was watching
you also,
a little
yeah,
bit,
you missed
and
Mion's
what the heck?
craziness.
No, I saw it. I was just trying to figure out how to use the hot glue gun.
Anyways, I'm gonna hop off now. I'll talk to you later.
Okay.
See ya.
Bye bye.
Okay. Let's go ahead and see who we can raid /host for doing stuff. I don't know. Actually, I probably just will go ahead and end the stream. I don't really feel like doing much else. I'm gonna close Higurashi before the music starts getting to me. Anyways, y'all take care. I'll see y'all whenever I see y'all. We'll figure out what stream I do next.